Welcome to the OSG Gang's live stream, where you can expect live, simple, garage talk. Today's special guest is...
What's up, everybody? And other Foxbody news.
Oh, welcome to the live stream there, Oscar, from Third
what's
Pedal
up, everybody?
Foxbody.
What's going on, everybody?
Hey, everybody.
Hello, sir.
How are
I got
you
my
guys?
Superfly shirt, but I can't see it.
Oh, yeah,
we
looks
can see
good.
it. Oh. We got it.
Awesome.
I need to go vertical like Lewis.
It's easier to hold my phone like this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, no.
I've got mine on a stand in the living room because, you know.
Nice.
The reasons we discussed.
What was that?
How was your day, Oscar?
Oh, it was great. So far, so good. You know, just excited to be here with you guys. And to be honest, I feel honored and it's a pleasure to come on here with you guys. So thank you. Thank you for
I appreciate that. You know, it's an honor to have you on, man. So thank you.
Absolutely.
Thank you. So tell us a little bit about your channel and why you started it.
All right. Sounds good. Well, so before I started my channel, I decided to open up an Instagram page because I've always wanted to have some form of platform for something that I was passionate about. I really didn't even know what that was, but what I ended up doing was I picked up a Foxbody in 2020, and that kind of pushed me to, you know what, I would love to start a YouTube channel. I was inspired by Castle Customs. I used to see his channel all the time pop up, and I just thought, man, that's pretty cool, you know. So
yeah,
I think he was one of my first inspirations, and then from that point forward, like all the Foxbody channels started rolling out, you know, yours, Brutal, Fox Chamber. I started learning about, you know, everybody who basically works on their car, you know, including Lewis's. You know, I've been watching Lewis's stuff for a long, long time, and several times I actually want to reach out to him because I think he's in California, right? Yeah, so I was pretty inspired, you know, looking at Castle Customs, how he, you know, paid attention to detail, and you know, me having Foxbody in the past, I had a '93 X Highway Patrol car that was pretty much passed on to me from a buddy of mine. He kind of put it together, and I just put the finishing touches on the car after after I bought it from him. And but I really never put my own hands on my Fox bodies. You know, back then we had a buddy of ours who was a phenomenal builder. He was a phenomenal builder. He was a great. He was an artist when it came to Fox bodies.
Really?
He knew how to he knew the right combinations for these motors, and he would make a lot of power on them. And us having Irwindale Speedway close to us, you know, that was our thing. Every Thursday we would go to Irwindale Speedway.
Yeah.
And we would go and see the stuff that he would do, and then eventually we got in contact with him, and then he started putting work on our stuff, and yeah, we just kind of, you know, fell in love with that. So but this time around, when I first got this 92 GT, I told myself, you know what, I'm going to do everything that I possibly can to this car with my own bare hands. I'm not going to spend the money, first of all, because you know how it is. The money is always an issue. And when the money is an issue, then you want to have high quality workmanship, but high quality workmanship costs a lot.
Yes.
So the other thing I thought of, I said, well, you know what, so many people putting out content, and the one thing I always heard was, man, these cars are so easy to work on. But when I first opened up the hood and everything, you know, when you're just looking at a motor and you really don't understand it, it looks daunting to you, you know, like what is everybody talking about easy to work on, you know?
Right.
But as I you know, brought the car over, started going through it, a couple years down the road went by, and I ended up purchasing a notchback, which was essentially what I really wanted to purchase, because that was my first Foxbody. It was an notchback 93X Highway Patrol car.
Mm-hmm.
And when I bought the notchback, it kind of took off for me. I just said, "Oh man, this one is in worse shape than the other one. The other one's a complete car.
Mm-hmm.
It doesn't really need much. All I ever really do with the 92 GT is throw a battery on it, and the thing cranks. So I don't know if you guys see my most recent video where I cleaned it up.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, that car can sit for 8 months, 6 months, whatever. I put the battery on it and then cranks right up, clean it up, take it for a rip, and then park it. And then, that's kind of been the journey with that car. But I do have plans on restoring that car and putting it back to its originality because it's completely stock car, no headers, no nothing other than just
Mm.
the mufflers, Magnaflow mufflers, and they did like a poor man's 5-lug swap on it.
Okay.
But when I got this notchback, it was pretty put apart. It was pretty put apart, and I thought to myself, well, this is going to be a good opportunity for me to put my hands on it and do as much work as I possibly can to it and learn and see what these cars are easy to work on thing everybody talks about is all about, so
Right.
that kind of motivated me, inspired me. And then once I started, taking stuff apart and putting it together, I just kind of felt like, oh yeah, this stuff is kind of like a little Lego, but I got lucky because my car was already apart.
Yeah.
So it made it so much easier to understand, and then, I just decided, I'm going to start doing some content because I just, felt inspired and I started doing videos. And I've been creating some videos for a long time, but there was a period of time where I just kind of went on a drought. I didn't create much of the YouTube videos. I kind of leaned towards TikTok because even
Okay.
on Instagram, I wasn't having, not that I was looking for some form of success, but I wasn't having any success at all. I wasn't making any
Understand.
friends, any connections really. So I was just uploading basically. So
Okay.
um so yeah, so when I started the channel, it was just, one of those things. You're inspired, you want to get out there, you just want to work on your stuff. And I really was just making videos for myself. I really just wanted to look back in the future and then be like, wow, that was, I started that. That was me. Something that my children could look back on when I was younger, and see that,
Mm-hmm.
I could put something together.
Documentation purposes, basically,
Yeah,
right?
just documenting, a story of my life because, I've always been very shy with camera stuff, which it probably doesn't seem like, but, I still have jitters when I have to get in front of a camera and stuff like that. But,
Well, you look pretty
um,
relaxed to me, man.
yeah,
So,
everybody tells me that, but that's the number one reason why I'm probably look relaxed because I try to make everything look, uniform and perfect. So,
right.
yeah, so, eh, I just one day told myself, the number one thing that I need to focus on is just being myself. I'm not here to put on a show for nobody. I am who I am, and that's basically it. I just try my best to whatever I learn from others. I try to make sure people know that that wasn't something that I picked up for myself. I'm just following a blueprint that all you guys have. Because there's a lot of you guys out there has tons of experience, that have been working on these cars for years and years and years. And I would hate it to be a person that just came onto the scene and act like I know everything, knowing that I was looking at a YouTube channel that taught me what to do. So
Right.
I'm grateful to everybody who uploads videos because I know exactly how hard it is. And I know how hard it is to get the message across, and I know exactly what it takes to have to record, edit, and then work on the vehicle all at the same time. So um, I'm very grateful to all you guys who've been doing that for years and years and have paved the way for guys like me that are just jumping in the scene.
Yeah. No doubt. But with DIY, we always have to start somewhere.
Yeah.
You know, you may not have certain knowledge about this or that, but don't let that stop you. Just dive in and
Mm,
go for it. You know what I mean? And you'll figure it
absolutely.
out. So that's part of what it's about. And you said something that really kind of jumped out at me was that you want to be yourself. And I
Yeah.
think that that's what attracted me to Lewis's channel and Rick's channel and you know Neo Mustang's channel and stuff like that is because they keep it real. They're real people and
Yeah.
they show real life experiences with these cars. And so that's what appeals to me, you know, is a person who's not fake, you know.
Yep.
So, and I appreciate that about you as well.
Yeah,
So,
thank you. I appreciate that about all you guys too. I think it's really easy. You know, we live in a weird time, right, where everybody is putting up a facade, you know, of who they think they are or what they want to be. They're not there yet, but they are trying to fake it to make it. And we're all of us as people, we can pretty much read through all that. You know, who's really trying
yeah,
extra. You know,
yep, exactly.
so there's nothing like being yourself. You know, I got a good friend of mine. I always tell him, you are who you are in this world. You know,
Yeah.
you are who you are. You know, we're
And
just
they can either like you or hate you, you know, it doesn't really matter, you know.
yeah.
There's,
You know what I've learned
yeah,
with time and dealing with so many people, and you know, being around a lot of people is you can't please everyone, and you shouldn't even try to either. You know, if you want to
Please
keep
yourself, man.
yeah, if you want to keep if you want to keep your mind healthy and your heart healthy,
mhm,
um, most of the times your goals you got to keep them to yourself. You can't even share them with others because I think some of the times God has given us these gifts. He puts them in our hearts so we can develop them, create them, make them. But we jump the gun and we share them before we even work on them, you know. And
makes sense.
and that's how we tend to fall off, you know. Because I've seen many people that are very quiet. One day I met this guy. He had a beautiful built Foxbody. Didn't know nothing about platform, YouTube, this, Instagram, nothing. Owned the car for 20 years. I'm like, wow, you did this and you did that. And I'm just going back to like the videos I watched of what it takes to do this and do that. And he's just, to him, it was just a normal car and it was just something he did. It was no hype to it. It was nothing. And that was so refreshing. It's like, man, I can only imagine if he had a platform. We would
Yeah.
all be
Right.
praising him. We would all be
Exactly.
singing his praise. And here he is, no praise, no notoriety, no nothing, just a simple man enjoying his car for the last 20 years.
He did it for himself.
Yeah, did it for himself.
Yep.
So, and that's what I think about, right? Like, I do see people building their cars and having a lot of success and doing this and doing that. And, you know, as a human, if you're not careful, you could fall into like, oh, I need to hurry up. You know, I'm falling behind. I need to get it done. I need to get there faster. I need to be up to par with other people. But truth be told, you know, I always tell everybody, you know, you move on your own pace. You know, everybody's
Yeah.
life is different. Everybody has their own schedules. Everybody has different responsibilities,
Right.
and you know, everybody has different goals for their car. So just enjoy the ride and then do what you have to do and be happy when you're doing it.
Yep. Well, you know, the thing of it is, you know, if you get out there and just turn one bolt a day, you know,
Mm-hmm.
that's progress,
Yeah,
you know.
absolutely.
So
Yep.
you're just doing what you can do, you know. So what's the hardest thing that you've encountered working on Fox bodies so far?
I think that the hardest thing that I've encountered working on my Fox bodies has been not being so judgmental to myself.
Mm,
Yeah. Not making myself feel like I should have already known this because I'm close to 40, you know. So
just a kid.
I constantly try to tell myself, oh, I should have known this by now, you know.
Mm-hmm.
But then I have to sit back and think, well, I've really never touched a car like that before, so I need to not beat myself up so much, you know.
How
Yeah.
old are you, Oscar?
I just turned 39.
Same here.
Yeah?
Yesterday. Yeah.
Yeah? Oh, happy birthday.
Yesterday? Oh
Happy
wow,
birthday,
check you out,
Lewis.
bro.
39. We're the
I'm
same
trying
age,
to,
dude. We're like basically in the same type of situation. I think even the same mindset because I get that same feeling sometimes, you know. I feel like, hey, like I should have already been done with this. Like I should have been doing all this stuff already. Like my car should be done, you know.
Mm-hmm.
And the more I think about it, like you said, you know, like you got to do stuff at your own pace, you know.
Yeah.
right. Yeah, well the thing of it is that, you know, life is always full of twists and turns and experiences. You know,
Yeah.
those twists and turns takes each of us to a different place. You know what I mean? And so we have
Absolutely.
different experiences, you know. And so the last thing you want to do is compare yourself to other people. You know, you just be you and
Mhm.
do you, and you know, all of us can appreciate that.
Yeah,
And that'll stop you from being discouraged, right? So,
absolutely.
you know, because the thing of it is, you know, I'm 57 years old and I've
I
been
still
working on
can't
this.
believe that.
Yeah, right. Yeah. But you know, the thing of it is that I encounter things all the time, you know, with these cars that
Yeah.
I've never experienced. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah,
So, you
absolutely.
know, new things pop up, you know, new experiences pop up, and that's okay. That's just part of life, bro. You know? So
Yeah, so I just, that's one of the things I kind of struggle with. The rest of it is probably just, I was taking apart my dash pad for the first time, right? And I'm looking at this LMR video, how to, because they have a step by step kind of thing. And they're like, be careful because these tabs are brittle, you can break them. And then I'm like, okay, I'm being careful. Bam, it just breaks. And I'm like, oh.
Like those plastic clips, man, they always break.
Yeah, so then things like that I think I have to be perfect on, but then I do realize like, well, this car is almost 40 years old.
yeah,
And this car's been baking in the sun, plastic gets brittle, baking in the sun, and yeah, just things like that. But other than that, things aren't. I gotta say that working on my own pace and just trying my best to understand the car more than just getting in there and then having no thought process on how I'm gonna attack it.
right.
How I'm gonna attack it. I just sometimes feel like uh wrenching and on my back is probably the hardest part.
Look at the young kid talking about his back.
Wait till you get to the
You
BS
guys keep saying we're
49
young, man, but it doesn't feel like it to me.
Well, when I say wrenching on my back, I just mean, when you've never done something before
Yeah, you're using muscles that you've never used before, right? So
and you're down there and you really don't even know if you're supposed to remove this bolt before you remove that
Oops,
one.
sorry.
yeah, I get it.
Like you're carrying double the weight sometimes. So,
Yeah,
but other than that, I just, think about I can't I can't ever think that something is gonna be easier if I had a lift, right? I
right.
think we all think, oh, it's so much easier when you have a lift, but the challenges are the challenges. They all come.
Yeah,
And most people, you get better at it with experience. So you could be on the ground on your back, or you
experience
could,
is the key. So
yeah, or you could be on a lift. It doesn't really matter. If you know what you're doing, if you understand the process that needs to get done, then I think. But other than that, I think the number one thing everybody struggles with wiring, right?
Yeah.
yeah, I'm there now. So
Wiring. For me, I every time I see somebody working on wiring, there's
yeah,
two things I tell myself. One is I don't want to do it, and then
uh huh.
two is this is the number one thing I should learn as soon as possible.
Well, you know, wiring is one of those things where you have to take your time. You
Yeah.
know, just to be sure nothing's going to short out. Is it the right color combination? You know, because you know some of these old cars, the the pink fades and it looks tan or whatever the case may be. You know, so I mean,
Yeah.
be the incorrect wire. You know, so wiring can be very complicated. You know, but with these Fox bodies, you know, there's all kind of available schematics out there and stuff like that as well that you could use as a resource. So
Yeah, I've bought some books. I've looked at schematics, and that's the other thing too. Like I look at these pages black and white, and I don't understand them yet. I don't
yeah.
understand much of them. I know that they're supposed to point you in one direction, but when you've never seen that, I just look at squiggly lines everywhere.
No, I
But
hear you.
and I used to be embarrassed to have to speak on things that I really didn't know, but now I just, it makes sense to me why some people are very good at building cars, and part of it is because they started probably when they were like 13, 14, 15.
Yeah.
But just because you start late doesn't mean you won't be able to do it. And then here's the other thing that I really think about now. When you're younger, it is harder for you to ask for help than when you're older.
Ego thing.
Yeah,
Right.
it's an ego thing. And then once you start making friends, not that you rely so much on them, but even just them answering a specific or simple question can really help you out,
Yeah.
save you a lot of headaches and stuff like that. So that's another thing.
Well, the Foxbody community is very helpful, you know. So
Absolutely. Yeah.
there's plenty of people out there that you could reach out to that are willing to help you, you know.
Yeah.
On digressing back to the whole lift versus jack stands type of thing, I guess for me, the only difference between a lift and jack stands is that the tool or part that you have has further to fall to the ground. So,
True.
you know what I
True.
mean? So
Yeah. Yeah, that's very true. Try removing a transmission from way up there and then let it
yeah,
slip off your hands, huh?
yep.
Hey,
Yeah.
once you have access to a lift, you don't want to do it any other way.
I
I use a
can
lift for a
imagine.
few
You
months.
put like an axle right in your face, do a brake job, way easier than stooping down on the ground or sitting on a milk crate or tire.
Yeah.
That's true.
And you'll realize that once you get older.
Yeah.
Try
Well,
just having a shop, like with air conditioning and lighting, besides working outside. It's a huge difference.
yeah, absolutely. I think that's one of the, not a challenge, but I think that's something that for some weird reason I always wait till summer when it's 110 degrees to start working on this thing. Like I could have
Yeah.
done this during fall or winter here, when it's not cold, and then here I
You
am.
guys don't get no snow down there, do you?
No, not here in Phoenix, no.
Yeah.
You're in Arizona, that's correct, right?
Yeah, I'm here in Phoenix, Arizona. Yeah. Which, Lewis, I'm going to invite you because on November 21st, they're going to have a Foxbody show down the street from my house that I'll be announcing soon. So if you guys ever want to come out to Arizona, nice weather, November, they're going to have a pretty nice show.
I might have to
I
fly
take
down
you up
there.
on that, man. I even actually think I might.
Yeah.
I'm considering moving to Arizona. That's
One hot place to another. Okay.
yeah. I don't want to go to like a completely different place, where like it snows. 'Cause I wouldn't know
Yeah.
what to do.
Yeah. We're in
It has
LA.
to be desert. I'm a desert animal.
Yeah. Where in LA are you out of?
I'm like 5 minutes away from downtown, dude. So it's like,
Oh, okay.
yeah,
Yeah.
literally
cool.
LA.
Yeah, you're dead center. That's cool.
Yeah, I might fly down there and check it out.
Yeah, come
So.
on by. I mean, I think it would be real cool so you guys can meet a lot of the people out here.
Yeah, that'd be fun.
That would be awesome, actually.
Hey,
next time I'm in LA, I'm gonna reach out to you, Lewis, so we
Yeah,
could
definitely,
link up.
man. Yeah.
Well, if you ever come up to Portland, check me out.
Yep. Yeah, making Foxbody friends. I do plan on, once I get these cars right, I want to drive them all over the place. So don't be surprised if one day I'm driving the Fox to Portland, one day I'm driving it back to Cali. I'm going to Foxtoberfest, first big trip, so I'll be all over the place.
And that's over 2,100 mile trip for you, one way?
Yeah, for me, it's gonna be over 2,100 miles. Yeah.
And that's one heck of a trip in a Foxbody.
Yeah.
That would make a great video, just.
Yeah.
Oh, it's gonna be a few of them.
Yeah.
Yeah, no doubt.
For sure.
And to do some live streams on that too,
Yeah, absolutely, and a couple live streams for sure. Yeah.
Are you excited?
Yeah, I'm very excited. Yeah, I've been wanting to do this trip for a very long time. It's something that I thought about, even before I owned the Foxbody.
Okay.
Even before I had it again. Yeah. So I just, this year is it, I got invited from the guys at 50 Asylum, to come hang out with them at the brewery. And just wanted to experience the show, what it's like, as a guest, and just to drive across country, in a car that you really enjoy being in, so I'm going to put tons of miles on it.
Okay, right on. Cool.
Yeah, should be fun.
Awesome, man. And so is that like your most favorite show that you're gonna go to is Foxtoberfest, or?
You know, as of now, that's the show that I'm working towards, because as I'm learning, there's tons of other shows, you know, like some that are in Texas, some that are in different parts of the country, you know. So I need to get more familiar with all the shows that happen throughout the year, you know,
Mhm.
from different organizations. And yeah, I would definitely like to go to most of them for sure every year.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was thinking about popping up at Foxtoberfest too. We'll see.
And you're like the type of car guy that'll drive your car there, right?
Yeah.
Yeah,
So
that's pretty cool.
when I
I'm a trailer mine, so.
yeah, when I thought of well, when I first bought this notchback, the first thing I thought of, I said, you know what, I am just gonna drive it. I
Yeah.
don't care if it doesn't have an interior. I just want to experience a Fox body again. And
Yeah, just
then
enjoy it.
yeah, just enjoy it. And then I started putting my hands in it and started working on it and started doing things differently, because I'm not a teenager anymore, and there's things that can fail in the car, like brakes, or you know, you could blow out a hose, and you could do all these little things that can really damage the car. And then not only that, like I have children now, so you know, I can't be risking just driving a clapped out car that who knows if
Yeah.
Right.
it's, you know,
You may not make
wheel
it home.
a wheel's gonna fly out or whatever, you know. So
Yeah.
I gotta think about all those things too. So yeah, that's one of the first things I ever worked on. You know, I had two fuel leaks, never seen what the fuel leaks look like on these cars, and when
Mhm.
I when I bought my notchback, I brought it home. I was excited. I'm gonna take it around the block, and here I am. The crossover line from the back of the intake manifold, it was leaking. It was squirting out.
Oh my goodness.
And you know, knowing me back then, I probably would have tried to drive it like that. I don't care. It's a little gasoline, and you know, would have caught the whole car on fire. And
All it takes is a little bit.
yeah, so I fixed those, and then it had another fuel line. It was leaking in the back of the gas tank. Fixed that one, and then fixed the other ones that go in the bottom of the front of the car. And
Right.
yeah, so just little stuff like that that don't take too much experience, you know.
So
You
where
know.
did that car originally come from? Like,
So funny story. This car was originally here in Arizona, and I remember I saw it on OfferUp. And when I saw
Hmm.
it on OfferUp, I saw the price. They wanted like $5,500 for the car,
oh,
and it was a notchback. And I'm looking at it, and it had already been on OfferUp for about 5 days. So I looked at the three pictures that the guy had, and they were horrible photos, horrible pictures.
Mm.
And it was only three of them. And then one of the reasons why I knew that this car wasn't being looked at like that was because it had a GT skirts on it. So I knew that was pushing a lot of people away from the car, first of
Really?
all.
Hmm.
And then the the way he took the photos, it just looked like the car was just a junker. So I reached out to him. I reached out and I said, "Hey, you know, I'm interested in the car. You know, I would like to come see it." He said, "Look, I have some guy coming over to check the car out. If he doesn't buy it, I'll call you back." And then I just thought to myself, "Oh man, they're gonna buy it." And then I said, before I go out there, if just in case a guy doesn't buy it, I just want to know one thing: does the car turn on? He's like, "Oh yeah, it runs and drives." I said, "Really? Okay. Well, man, please keep me posted." 2 days went by, 3 days, nothing. I said, "Oh, okay, he probably sold the car."
Right.
So I get a call back from him like 3 days later. I'm in California visiting my mom, and he's like, "Look, I have the car. The guy said it was too much of a project for him, and if you're interested, you know, it's yours." I said, "Give me your bottom dollar. I'll Zelle you a deposit right now." He said, "Look, I don't want to go back and forth with you. Give me $4,800 for the car, and it's yours."
Sold.
I said, "How much you want me to send you?" He's like, "Zelle me $50, and when you're back in town, come see it."
$50.
Yeah. And I thought he was kidding. He was a really nice guy. And I couldn't wait to get back to Arizona. I just couldn't wait. I was
No
just like,
doubt.
oh my goodness, I can't wait to see this car. So I got back, and then I went I went to go see the car, and I told my wife, let's go see the car, and I'm gonna drive it back home. It was like 25 miles away from my house. And as soon as I got there, he's like, it has a flat tire. I don't think the tire will hold air, and if it does, I wouldn't trust that tire. He was a really nice dude.
Mm-hmm.
And and then I was like, okay, can you at least turn it on for me so I can see how? And as soon as he turned it on, fuel's, puking out of it. So then
Wow.
the next step was, I need to get a car hauler, a trailer, and then just trailer it back, you know. So that's what I did. A couple days went by. I went back, trailer, picked it up, and took it back to my father-in-law's. He has a ranch.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm like, I'm gonna work on this car over here. I took it back to the ranch, um, and then it will start. I fixed that leak, and then it started puking in the back of where the gas tank return line is.
Uh-huh.
Fixed that one. I washed it for the first time. I pumped gas in it, and I took it for a rip. And I said, "Man, this car feels good.
No doubt.
It feels good." So when I first saw the car, let me retract back. When I went to go see the car, I thought to myself, "Man, I can't believe nobody wanted this car." I popped the hood, and to my surprise, it came with BBK shorty headers. It came with a short ram intake. It came with throttle body, 75
What?
millimeter. It came with the lower and upper uh, trick flow street fire intake. It came with the underdrive pulley already. And the guy told me, he said, I'm not too sure, but the guy that I bought it from told me that they rebuilt the engine. It's supposed to be a 306 in this car.
Wow.
So I thought to myself, either I'm the luckiest dude, or, when I get this car running right, it's going to feel like crap, right?
Right.
So wash the car, after I fixed the return lines, whatever. And I was super excited. Let's go to the gas station. I put gas in it. I brought it back, and I'm like taking it slow, driving it easy. And
Uh-huh.
then I give it a little rip, and I'm like, dang, this car feels strong. So my brother-in-law was there with me, and I'm like, you wanna take the Foxbody for a drive? You wanna see what a Foxbody feels like? He's like, yeah, I'll take it. So he took it for a rip, went down the street, and then I could hear the rah, and then I didn't hear the car anymore, and I'm like, okay, well, let's just wait for him. 5 minutes go by, he gives me a call. He says, the car won't crank anymore.
Uh-oh.
And I'm like, oh man, really? I said, maybe just give it a minute, let the fuel come down or whatever,
Mm-hmm.
Me thinking like, oh, it's probably flooded, like if it were a carbureted car or something.
Right. Right.
So it just didn't crank. So my father-in-law has like a little four-wheeler, and
Uh-huh.
we just pulled it back to the house. And then the show started for me, because for 2 years I couldn't get this car to run.
Are you
And
serious? Wow.
and it was just sad to look at this car, because as excited as I was, um, me personally, I couldn't figure this thing out because I had never worked on them before.
Right.
So one day I just thought, man, I'm gonna start looking for a mechanic, and I found this mechanic, and he came, and I told him, I said, look, there's no spark. Some mechanic came already. He told me that it was a distributor, and we changed the distributor, and that didn't help. We changed the TFI module, that didn't help. And then we changed
The coil.
the coil, that didn't work. I bought a new coil for it. And then I'm like, well, I'm gonna try to remove that distributor. And when I moved the distributor, I couldn't put it back in the right location, so the car was out of timing now. And I went through so many videos to understand timing, and I was just like
Yeah.
frustrated, because I watched one guy's video, and he would say, oh, this is, and then another guy would say this, and then another guy would, and I just couldn't put that puzzle together, like how to time a car.
Yeah.
So then I just thought, I'm like, man, I'm just, I'm not gonna worry about it right now. Then in between that, I was having my second daughter, and then that got in the way of that, and I got to focus on family and stuff like that. So,
Yeah.
and then one day I just thought, I said, I wonder if there's any forums or any groups on Facebook out here in Arizona.
Uh-huh.
So I found a few of them, and I'm like, oh, I'm gonna join this group, Foxbody group. And then one day I just made a post and I said, anybody, I just told them what issues I was having. Anybody willing to help out? They said yes. I got a message from a guy named Roberto, and he's
Mhm.
like, I think I can help you. Just that was a message, and I was super excited. Oh, I'm like, okay, cool.
Okay.
And then I bugged him for like 2 months straight.
2 months.
I bugged my buddy Roberto for so long because I was like, hey, when can you come look at it? And him having a family and him having work all the time, and the fox bodies were his hobby too. At the time I didn't know he had a fox body. And then
Uh-huh.
one day I sent him a heartfelt message. I said, listen, I have no help here. I moved to Arizona. I don't have any connections. I don't know anybody. I don't know, like, I've already had a few mechanics come out, you know. I'm not a person that likes to bother people. If you can help me out, I'd appreciate it. I just don't want to keep bugging you. He responded, can you bring the car back? Oh, can you bring the car on Saturday? I said, yes, say less. So we took the car back to his place, and he's like, look, I'm going to take some time with it. So it's not like you're going to get it. I said, I don't care. I waited 2 years. Have the car as long as you need. I know it's going to be in good hands.
Right.
And I show up to his place, and I was like, you have a Fox body? He's like, oh yeah. He takes me to the back, his garage, and he has a beautiful, beautiful notchback, supercharged, lower upper. I mean, the whole car is beautiful. Told me a
Okay.
story how he picked it up and what he's done to it, and that just put so much trust in him. I'm like, okay, he's gonna figure this thing out.
Okay.
So I start. He messaged me one day, and he messages me, and he's like, dude, I got your car started. And I'm like, what? No way. And then I get this clip. I get this video clip. I'll send it to you so you can check it out. What he
Okay.
sent me. And then he's like, check this out. And he turns the car on, and the car just, boom. I just couldn't believe it. He's like, do you want to come see it? I said, yes.
Of course.
So, yeah.
Right now.
So I go over there, and then, man, I'm so excited. The car, he's like, look, these tires are no good, but, I said, okay, cool. And then my buddy Roberto says, hey, where was this car over there, like on the Freeway 51, blah, 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 over there? And I'm like, yeah. He's like, yeah, I went to go see that car. And I told the guy, this is too much of a project for me. I already got a couple of them. And I
Oh,
was like,
wow.
so you were the guy that went to go see the car? And funny story, he said, I didn't buy the car because I didn't want to work on this car, and here I am working on it.
That's a turn of events.
Yeah, so he was the buyer that was supposed to go see the car before me, and he rejected, and because he didn't buy it, I ended up buying it.
And he still wound up working on it.
And he still wound up working on it. So the car had a blown fusible link, and it had a bad computer.
Mm.
I would have never
That'll do
figured
it.
that out. I would have never figured that out. The
Yeah.
fusible link, the way that these cars are wired, for you to be able to find that, you have to know exactly, or you have to have gone through that already.
Yeah.
There's lots of them.
Yes, and me as a
check
novice,
the harness, you'll see.
me as a novice, I would have never been able to figure that out. To be honest, I mean, somebody would. I bought two computers. I bought two computers for it because he told me, he's like, can you get a computer? I said, yeah. And both computers that I bought didn't work. And he ended up giving me his computer from a automatic vehicle, which is still in the car now. It worked with the auto car. So my buddy Roberto, big shout out to him because he figured it out. And another funny story, because he said, man, I was this close of giving you your car back. And I just told myself, man, I can't quit. He said one night, he told me that one night he was like pondering in his bed, and his wife's like, what's going on? What's going on with you? And I told my wife, he said, I told my wife, man, I just can't figure this car out. I just can't figure this car out. And then she's like, don't worry, you figure it out. You always figure it out. You never quit. And the next day is when he turned the car on. So
Nice.
she inspired him. And she's a wonderful lady. He has a wonderful family. He's a wonderful person. And big shout out to him. Um, yeah, so he got this car back running. He got this car back running.
So then, so do you have any racing stories where you actually like race somebody?
Oh yeah. Oh, I got plenty of them. So I grew up in South Central LA. For those who are listening, South Central LA, the nearest.
What side?
Yeah, if you guys, the famous, movie Menace to Society, where the Fox body with the gold Daytons are.
Yep.
Yeah, so in South Central LA, there was a big famous place we used to go racing. It was well, there was several places, but one of them, it was 135th in Maine,
Yeah.
where some of the bigger cars race. And that was one place. Another one was Mansville, and
Florence and McKinley.
Florence and McKinley was every Friday thing.
Yeah.
You guys, let me just Florence and McKinley for us that lived in South Central was like, you ever seen the first Fast and the Furious when everybody's met up and then here comes Toretto walking
Oh
in
yeah.
between that was Florence and McKinley for us every Friday. And we would race on a street that had like 1,000 potholes each way.
Oh God.
I kid you not. If
It was
if you
basically an alley, right? Like this long.
it's a long
Yeah.
alley from one main street
Hmm.
to the next main street, but it was just all kinds of factories on each side of the alley.
Yep.
So big big trucks drive by there all the time, and they make all these potholes. The street was not even. It was all
I'm
bad.
getting flashbacks, man. Like
Sounds
PTSD. You
good,
get
Matt.
me
Yeah.
chills.
And that's kind of where we all started racing. We first started at Florence and McKinley, and then we ended up going to 135th in Maine when we started learning uh what VHT was, and you could prep your tires, and then you can do a burnout, and then
So
but
how long ago are you talking about? Because
oh,
it's
this is
possible that we met like several times and like it's just been so long that
oh no, this is a long time ago. Nobody hangs out in McKinley anymore.
no,
But
not you're talking
yeah.
about like maybe like 2010,
Oh yeah,
maybe,
for sure.
right?
Yeah, for sure. And the funny thing
Huh.
is, even on 135th in Maine, let me tell you guys how dangerous it was.
Uh-huh.
We would literally wait for the light to turn green. Nobody was flagging you. You literally do your burnouts, you wait for cars to go on the opposite oncoming traffic, and you're sitting there. And when you see the other lights, the opposite lights turn yellow, then you start staging yourself.
Oh, I
And then
see.
when you see the light turn green, you all go, nobody flagged.
Oh my God.
So yeah, I remember when I first understood what a Fox body was. I mean, my car was it was a fast notchback, to say the least. It was a full suspension car. Um, I had a nitrous kit on it, 150 shot. I'm
Oh,
thinking, I'm thinking back in the day, if anything, this car had maybe 400 horsepower, and that might have been, plenty, or 450. I don't know. But for me, that
yeah.
was plenty. But we were racing cars that were popping wheelies and fast 03, 04 Cobras,
Yeah.
and but this my first car, man, it was a very fast car. To be honest, I don't even know if it was either a 306 or a 347, because I just that's how I acquired it. But we used to race there all the time, and I have a real cool story with there was a guy who owned a wagon. He owned a Chevy wagon, full blown big block 454 engine in it. And it was one of her first times racing with the nitrous kit. and this wagon just got up on the first two wheels. I took off. He was trying to catch me and hit third gear. The nitrous button was on, and then I hear this explosion. Boom.
Oh no.
And the intake manifold, not the the intake manifold first of all was loose, which I didn't even know.
Oh Lord,
This
man.
was till after the intake manifold was loose, and then the cold air intake like literally fell apart. Boom. And the car
Wow.
fell on his face, and then we got beat. I think we played for like $1,000 or something like that. It was gnarly.
Oh, the
But
good old days, huh?
yeah, and then from there, we would just go to Irwindale. So I remember, man, for us, if you had a car that was running in the 6-second, 8th mile, it was pretty fast.
That is fast.
Yeah, so that car is running in the mid 6 seconds with the nitrous. It was pretty fast car. It was fun.
Right.
And I go back to it. That car was put together by Hector, known for building Fox bodies. He had some really fast stuff. And now, uh, all these years later, through a TikTok follower, I had no idea that Hector had a mentor, and Hector's mentor is a really nice, really cool, very knowledgeable guy that I would suggest if you guys want to learn about making power on these little small block Fords. Um,
Does he have a
yeah,
YouTube channel or?
yeah, he does, where he explains. As a matter of fact, I think he was one of the developers for the Twisted Wedge heads.
Well, shout him out. Do you know his channel name?
Yeah, I just had his name, and as I'm talking, I forgot. Ben
You
Alameda.
remember? I'm
Ben
sorry, what?
Alameda Racing.
Van Alameda?
Ben Alameda Racing.
Ben Alameda. Okay.
Yeah. So if you guys want to go check out his YouTube channel,
Oh, for sure.
one night, 2 nights, 3 nights, 4 nights, a whole week, I'm like just absorbing how to make 5 horsepower here, 10 horsepower there, 20 horsepower here. I mean, he was building 302s that were building 351, that were beating 351s, 347s, 363s, and just off 302 stock blocks. So yeah, check him out, Ben Alameda,
Okay.
real smart man.
Well, it appears that you and Lewis have something in common.
Oh yeah, for
You
sure.
know?
Yeah.
You have any questions for him, Lewis? You're muted, man.
The thing is, I keep hearing noise, and I don't know where it's coming from here.
I don't know.
It sounds like a fan or something.
Hold on. Yeah, my AC kicked on. It's me.
Oh, okay. So earlier I was thinking, you said you had a notchback before, right? And this is the one that you're talking about that was built.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And that happened to be a CHP, right?
Yeah.
So you got rid of that one, and then you ended up with the one that you have now.
Correct. Yeah.
But with this one, this is the first time that you've actually, decided to just build it on your own.
Yeah.
Like, so the question is, like, do you feel like a different connection with the car you have now or the one that you bought? Because this is like, that would be like the difference between buying something and building something, right?
Yeah.
So
Well,
like what type of a connection do you have with both cars?
honestly, like the connection is mutual. It's almost the same because my first car, I drove that thing everywhere, man. Like
Mhm.
I probably put close to 100,000 miles on that car in a very short period of time because that was my daily driver. I would drive it everywhere, Santa Barbara, San Diego. I mean, I would go everywhere in this car.
Yeah.
And I never even thought, not for 1 second, that I would be stranded anywhere. Like that never crossed my mind. I had no idea. I just thought truth be told, I used to drive that Fox body like if it were a Honda or a Toyota Corolla or something.
Yeah.
And that for me, that was a true definition of a street car because I would daily drive it every day, and then on Thursdays we would go race on the track, and then Fridays we probably had hit some races and race there, and then go to work the next day in it. Like I remember it was such a fun car. I remember I bought the 2003 Cobra Terminator seats on it. I felt like, man, I was So the connection that I had with that car, it was real special because I've experienced a lot in that car.
Yeah.
I was able to meet a few girls, took a few girls out on dates, things like that. That just the first time I hear the little click, 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 click. You're
Mm-hmm.
about to put in first, second gear or whatever. And the connection that I have now is a little different, but it's almost the same. I
Yeah.
I'm chasing that same feeling that I had with the first car. I'm chasing that. I want to drive this car the way I drove the other one. That's
That's
the
Oh
feeling.
yeah.
Yeah, it's not so much about, like I said, when you first start building these cars, you can really fall into the rabbit hole of just building a car.
Yeah.
Oh, hell yeah.
Like
I'm there
like
now.
Ask James.
yeah, like you're 100% in on just working on the car, and you never really get to enjoy it. And I was
Yeah.
the opposite. I never worked on them, but I always drove them everywhere.
yeah.
And so my goal for this car and the feeling that I'm chasing is that once I, dial it in, what I think should be right for it, you're going to see, I'm going to bore everybody with all the videos. I'm going to, where is Oscar third pedal at? Oh, he's going to go get pan at the grocery store, or
So your plan is to finish like the build and then just drive it like you did your first car.
yeah. So truth be told, like I'm not touching anything else on the car. Like the car runs and drives right now. The only thing I did to it recently was which was kind of major, was the fuel pump and the fuel sending unit was horrible on it. And I was actually last November I was supposed to go to a Foxbody show, like their second annual meet here in Arizona, the one I was telling you guys. I started learning how to color correct the car and buff and polish and this and that, and I put so much effort for like a whole month every day, like OG said, 1 hour at a time, one thing at a time. Got the wheels, this and that. And the day of the show, the car just wouldn't crank. It just wouldn't crank. And I thought to myself, no, not again, not this wire situation again.
Uh-huh.
And then at that time, well, just having a little bit more experience and asking people for more stuff, I was able to figure out pretty easily that it was a fuel pump. And
Right.
once I dropped the tank, I looked at the fuel sending unit, and that was pretty bad too, and just had to clean it out. And so yeah, so now the goal for the car was to try to put the air conditioning on it so that I can make the drive a little bit more comfortable with the windows up.
Oh, windows down in 55. That's the best AC, man.
Yeah. So yeah, but definitely want to treat the car well, but at the same time not be afraid to get on it here and there. So
Have you ever raced at a track, an actual track?
yeah, Irwindale Speedway. Yeah, I used to race all the time there.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, the first time I ever raced, I raced the 1984 Chevy Camaro.
Oh
Truth be
man.
told, truth be told, I was a Camaro guy amongst all my friends. The only reason why I love Fox bodies and the only reason why I have one is because they were the Ford guys and I was a Chevy guy. And then once I got my first Fox body, I just never looked back.
No doubt.
Yeah, but I do love, the F body Camaros and all the
Oh
IROCs
yeah.
and I'm a true gearhead when it comes to all type of cars. I don't hate on no cars, but
Yeah, no doubt.
Fox body is just what I choose to own, and drive and
Yeah.
have.
I know my
Yeah.
favorite is the Grand National GNX. I used to love those a lot. You
Oh
know,
yeah. Oh yeah.
I could just never afford them. Because they were so expensive.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because back in the 80s, those were the only ones that could give the Mustangs a really good run.
Yeah,
Was the Grand
for
National.
sure.
So
Yeah, it's funny because when I grew up in an environment with a bunch of guy friends. Most of my friends, they all had cars, and then I got a buddy of mine. He's like my brother. He he got a Grand National at 14 years old, and he still owns that thing
at 14,
at 14.
man, he's fortunate.
Yeah, he's
Wow.
very fortunate because I don't think the person that sold him the car knew what a Grand National was, and he's building it right now. He has a built motor for it, and the car's in paint. So when he's finished with it, I'll send you guys pictures. But yeah, he's been
Yeah, that'd
owning
be
that
great.
car. Been owning that car since like 2003 or 2002. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
So I
but
was watching one of your videos, and it seems like you're into photography too, right?
yeah, so when I got away from Fox bodies, well, let me go back to why I sold my first Fox body. So when I first okay, so I had my car for a little bit, and then I was very fortunate enough to, at a very young age in California, I was, I don't know how it even happened, other than just the grace of God, was able to purchase a home out there. But not knowing what home ownership was like, I made it really hard for myself to really understand the finance that came with owning a property.
Oh yeah.
And then I just started piecing the car apart every time I needed money. Like somebody wanted to buy my head, somebody wanted to buy my drive shaft, somebody wanted to buy these wheels, somebody wanted to buy that, and I ended up selling everything until I just had the car and just like it had the engine and it had the rear end, but it was pretty pieced apart. Somebody just made me an offer and hard times made me sell it, and I was bummed out.
Yeah. Well, you do what you got to do to survive, So
Yeah, so it was either the car or the house, and then one of my main goals in my early life was to make sure that my mother didn't have to worry about paying rent anymore. So, you know, her being a single mother, that was my first priority. And thank God that's still happening now. Thank God, we still own the property in LA, and so I got away from the car for a very long time, and I always thought, man, someday I'll get another one. Someday I'll get another one, but um, I had a good friend of mine who was into photography. He did he took pictures in downtown LA. He did like street photography, but with his cell phone. And then one day he says, "Hey man, you want to come out?" I said, "Yeah, let's go." So I went out with him, and I fell in love with it. So I started doing photography with my cell phone, and then eventually got a camera when my first daughter was born, and then I really understood what the camera was like, and then but even back then, before I even thought I liked photography, I remember all my buddies that had cars, I would like take pictures of their cars with the instant cameras, and I would have like some real cool angles of their cars and stuff like that. So,
right.
like as of now, it's one of my passions, the cars and the photography, taking videos and trying to create some cool stuff, cool shots. So, I really enjoy that for sure. So,
Yeah.
I look forward to meeting you guys, and if you guys allow me to get some cool stuff from your cars.
Oh,
So,
that'd be awesome.
yeah.
That'd be really awesome.
So yeah, definitely like that. And then just freelance working and stuff like that. Some people like I recently did a photo shoot for a GT 500 and 65 GT 350. So new versus old. I did a little video on my YouTube channel. If you guys want to go check it out, it was pretty cool. It was a good experience. I hadn't done a photo shoot like that in a long, long time, and having those two cars and being able to experience sitting inside of those two cars, it was pretty phenomenal. So I'll tell you what, it is night and day between both cars. One car, the feeling you get is just so vintage, so like, man, this is what a true muscle car is. And the other one is just like an airplane.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, the GT 500, man, that car is just, I mean, like I said, even with the nitrous, when my car was, I consider it to be fast. When you hit the nitrous button, you do get like this rush. But these 700 horsepower GT 500s is just completely different.
Yeah, I imagine.
Yeah, they're
Talk
just,
about sound.
yeah, yeah. For a second there, I thought, I'm like, wait, is one passing by here or what?
Go drag it.
It's the cars outside my house, man. Sorry.
Yeah, no,
No,
it's
it's
good.
not. It's
Yeah,
not
I got
bothering.
planes going overhead every
It
5 seconds.
it sounded really nice. So yeah, so I do that occasionally, and like there's a young kid here that I've been pushing his page quite a bit. Vince, I'm gonna shout out Vince on Instagram. Um,
Is he
he
on
has
YouTube
a
too?
yeah, he has a like a convertible, red convertible, Vinny. Yeah, it's Vince 5.0. One day I say, hey Vince, let's go do some photos and video on your car. He's like, all right, let's go. So we ended up finding a cool spot here by the Cardinal Stadium, football stadium.
Mm-hmm.
And then we did some few shots there. And then I'm like, you know what? Let's go to downtown. What do you say? So we end up going to downtown, and On the first, I'm like, come down this street and I'll get some nice video of your car coming up this way. And he goes, turns around, comes back, and the first thought I said, oh, I hope Vince doesn't punch it here. And I looked to my left and there was a cop. And then I looked to my right and here comes Vince and he's like first and second. Rah, rah. The moment he crosses the street, the cop turned around, pulled him over and stuff. And that was a pretty cool video we did. It's up on Instagram. So that was pretty. Got lucky. Cool. Didn't get a ticket. Got left with a warning. And then there was a guy crossing the street. He's like, are you videoing? I'm like, yeah. He's like, I'll wait for you to stop videotaping. So I finished videotaping. He's like, you're not from around here, huh? And I'm like, no, not really. He's like, these four corners is all law enforcement.
Ooh.
So we were literally in the wrong place.
The lion's den.
Yeah, we were in the lion's den for sure. So, but yeah, it was pretty cool. It's fun. So I enjoyed the photography part of it. I enjoy the cars. I really enjoy talking to people, learning about them, learning about their cars. Just the story, the feeling that people put into their projects, like Luz was saying, every time I saw a Foxbody, it brought me this feeling, that I've just been hunting for it, And a lot of people do the same. A lot of people feel the same. Like, I remember when I was 19, I worked at this building material store. There was a gentleman who had a 64 split window Corvette.
Oh, nice.
And I would always tell him, where's your Corvette? How's your Corvette? And he's like, oh, it's in the garage. And I would be so frustrated when he would say that. I'm like, why don't you drive it? Why don't you fix it? He's like, nope, I just want to look at it. And I would think to myself, as a young kid, I was thinking to myself, I'm like, man, like, dude, you should be driving this thing. This is an awesome car, And he was like, nope, I just want to look at it, And then it wasn't until recently, one day I'm sitting in the garage staring at my car. I'm not driving it yet. It's not on the street, but I just really enjoyed looking at it. I'm like, it's just this feeling, you have. You make a connection with, us as humans, we make connections with people. We make connections with animals. We make connections with, things that make us feel good, so.
That's so true.
My animal just now calm down.
Yeah?
Took it an hour. You wouldn't believe what I'm going through here. That you're not saying.
Yeah, so, and I think, that's the beauty of it, cars and people. So that one of the reasons why I wanted to come out to Foxtoberfest, because of that, being able to meet a bunch of people that have the same kind of thought or the feeling for the car, or hearing the story, like, how did you start your build, or what was the first thing you modified, or why did you choose these wheels, just learning from people, and it's inspiring, really, keeps you,
no doubt.
Yeah, so
okay.
And you know what, OG, I was thinking about you the other day, because you mentioned that you raced a cop one time, right?
Yeah.
So when I was 15 and got my first car, it reminded me of a story of me. I remember I was on the 110 freeway going south towards San Pedro, and I remember it was a day it was kind of drizzling, and then I had the worst tinted back window, bubbling up everything. You couldn't really see out of it. It was bad.
Right.
But I noticed that there was a car just pushing me, and every time it got closer, I would punch it even a little more, and punch it a little more, and punch it a little more, and to the point where I was doing like 90. And then I see the car getting to the side of me, and then I'm like, oh no, you're not gonna pass me. And I punched it, and he punches it, and then my car maxes out, and he's right next to me, and I turn around as a cop, and I'm like, my heart dropped.
Yeah.
And then I turn, I look at him, and he does this to me, like, slow down. Oh man,
I love that.
I look, I'm like, man, you're not gonna beat me. And he's like, I'm like, oh no. I'm like, okay.
Yeah, the ego just deflates all of a sudden, right? It's like,
Yeah.
oh,
Yeah. I just thought, I'm like, oh man, I could have been pulled over, it would have been bad. So
You
that
know,
was my,
some cops actually understand. They're like regular people, so like
yeah.
they don't like you know he could have just pulled you over and just destroyed you, right?
oh yeah, for sure.
But
Yeah.
he just decided to like, hey, you just slow down, man.
The only reason why I was going fast was because he was tailgating me, and I thought, man, why is this guy tailgating me? And I keep going faster and faster and faster, and he was just probably trying to, I don't know. But I
See how
remember,
fast the car was.
when I looked to the right of me, I'm like, I literally went like that. I was like, no
Oh
way.
no.
Yeah. So, but yeah, that was pretty. It reminded me of your story, like how the cop was trying to race you. You're like, nah, you're just trying to pull me over. Is it fast?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
You just want an
That's
Exactly.
easy
how it
ticket.
works.
Yeah. So, that was my story with that with the cop for sure.
Right on. I appreciate that story. That's a good one.
Yeah,
Yeah.
thanks for sharing, man.
So Rick, you have
Yeah.
any
So,
questions for him?
Ah, probably not about. I have a couple, but I can't think what they were now. I do have one. So I noticed you're obviously podcasting. You got the microphone, and all that. What kind of setup are you doing to run that through your computer? Because I know most condenser mics have to be ran through a mixer.
well, you know what? I'm actually using my cell phone.
Oh,
If
is that right?
Yeah, if I'm being honest, I got an adapter that connects USB to USB-C,
Okay.
Yep.
Type C, and then this microphone is pretty cool. It's made by a company named Samson.
Yes.
It's really inexpensive. It's about, I don't know, maybe 40, 45 bucks. And if you're going through your computer and your computer has USB, then you can just hook it up directly and it'll try.
Yeah, I'm phone.
Oh, you're
iPhone.
on the phone? Okay. Well, what
Yeah,
I'll
and
do is
I used to be in bands and stuff. I got some really good microphones, and I was just wondering how to
oh
use
yeah.
that. I got a boom stand. I got all kinds of stuff. But
Oh,
anyway,
cool.
and whether it makes things better or not, it makes me feel good. I paid money for it. I want to use it. You
Yeah,
know.
absolutely. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
So
Yeah,
I was
and
curious.
yeah, you can just hook up, like this microphone has a XLR hookup as well,
Right.
but it gives you the option to hook up to
And that's what mine is. So I don't know if it'd be adaptable because I know the impedance is different.
yeah.
Can't talk.
Well, I'll tell you what, I'll send you some really inexpensive stuff that allows you to use your microphone, and
Cool. I
yeah, yeah,
appreciate
yeah.
that.
Really, really inexpensive, and it makes it so much easier.
Nice.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Well, your five lug swap. I watched the video probably 2 or 3 times.
Oh, thank you.
It's that's I have my spindles and my brake calipers, but pretty much it. But now that my car is painted and put back together, I really don't want to. I know I'm going to need a Cobra booster or something, right?
Hmm.
I'm just afraid of what's going to happen.
Well, there's ways to do that without beating it up.
Yeah, yeah, you
So
elongate the hose. I know that.
that's what
No,
I did. So
Yep.
Yeah, when I did
So,
mine, I just try to research what the easiest and fastest and cheapest was, because even the LMR kits, at the moment for me, they were like 700 bucks.
right.
And
I got.
I just thought to myself, I'm like, nah, I know there's a better way. I know there's a cheaper way.
yeah,
Maybe not better. Let me take that back. But I know there's a cheaper way. So I went straight to Facebook Marketplace. And for days and days, I looked for um, spindles, and then I looked for axles. And then I
yeah,
did my research on the axles. What axles fit the stock 88 rear end? And a buddy of mine was parting out a SN95, and he sold me the complete spindle with the calipers, brake lines,
nice.
rotors, and some extreme brake pads, and
Sweet.
everything was like in great shape.
So at the
And
end of it, it said you had the wheels mocked up and mentioned some adapters. Did you go to SN95 rear axles to make it longer, or?
so truth be told, I really don't even know what these axles are from. I know they came out of another Fox body. So
Mhm.
I bought them from a guy here in Arizona who was building a Fox body, and he took them out of his 8.8 rear end.
Do they have right where the bearing, where the flange is there like a gear looking thing, a wheel speed sensor?
No, there isn't.
Okay, they can be cut off, but sometimes they have those. I was just
Yeah,
trying to figure it out for when I go there.
yeah, no. I'll send you also like a lot of the research I found which axles you can use from different various cars that Ford used them on.
Right.
Mhm.
And
Yeah,
you
I
can
know
find a
about the Ranger and
Yep.
Harold's car.
Ranger.
yeah. Does your rear end a 28 spline or 31 spline?
It's 28.
28.
It's
Okay.
a SN95 rear end with 373 gears.
Okay.
I got a
Cool.
shout out 606 Garage.
Cool.
He,
Hooked you up,
Hey,
huh?
dude.
he gave me much love, bro.
That's awesome.
More than
Yeah.
once.
Yeah. When I was doing mine, I mean, I had no idea, but I was looking at the gears and I'm like, I wonder if this thing has gears. And Ford Racing 373s. I said, what? I was so excited. I looked
I
up.
know. I was like, wow. We're
I'm like,
That's
pulling
awesome.
that cover off the sea, right?
yeah.
It's a
And
bonus.
yeah. And then, 28. Well, let me tell you, I bought the axles for $70.
Nice.
Yeah. And then the guy threw in the whole setup for the rear disc brake conversion for another 40.
And yeah, that's a
And
bargain.
yeah, and then eventually, I haven't done it yet, but the only thing I did after I changed the axles out to make it work, I just bought um Ford Ranger drums. That was it. And those I did buy new.
Okay.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Yeah, I bought the Ranger drums. Um I swapped the axles in. I got lucky with the gears and the car runs good.
Nice.
Yeah.
Gears make a huge difference. I know that.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely.
270, what, a 8, 273s or whatever come factory, going to 373s. But,
It's a
I'm
big difference.
AOP car. But I
Yeah.
got a T5 getting ready to go in as well. So
Oh, cool. Yeah.
I don't want to take anything apart. Both cars, start and go and drive, and at least until winter.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Yeah, man, this car has been a big surprise for me, to be honest, because just recently when I was trying to clean out the center console and all that stuff, I'm just going through it. The most recent find for me was a
Dodge Charger,
yeah.
I'm guessing.
I f- I found the car had a what is it called? Hearse shifter.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, I knew it had a short, handle, but I didn't realize that the actual shifter was a Hearse shifter. So,
Wow. Yeah, they gone up too. They're pricey.
yeah,
Yeah.
I found the specific one that the car had. I think it's like 300 some dollars.
Right.
So I
Well,
just been a blessing. This car is like a diamond in the rough. Literally, it was a diamond in the rough. So many. I can only imagine how many people just saw that post and are like, yeah, that car ain't worth nothing.
Well,
And here
they're
I am
lost.
yeah, and then here I am taking a chance. So every time I find something new to it, I just I take it as a blessing. Because it's money that I don't have to spend, and it's
Exactly.
also labor that doesn't have to be
labor and
done.
time.
Yeah, labor and time. So definitely it has been a blessing. So the wheels that I have on there now, I bought for $100.
Yeah, I like
Oh,
those.
wow.
Yeah,
That's so cheap.
I bought them for
Nice.
$100. And I always tell people, if you really want to budget build something, you can really budget build it. You just have to take time.
Exactly.
Um because for my 5 look swap, I have less than $400 in it. Less.
Wow.
I have less than $400 in a 5 look swap. Um And you just gotta be able to bargain hunt, and don't be afraid to buy used parts.
Exactly.
You know, I know everybody wants the new and the shiny, but here's the other thing too. Like, you gotta understand what you want your car to be and what you're gonna use
Yep.
it for.
Exactly. Yeah.
Like my car, yeah, these wheels, they're not in perfect shape. I repainted them. I did my best. They're gonna look just good enough, right? For a lot of people, when they look at them, they'll see a little scratch or a dent or whatever. For me, it's fine because my car doesn't have a $10,000-$20,000 paint job anyway. So
Right.
there's no
Same.
need there's no need for me to have wheels that look impeccable, you know.
Especially if you're no prep racing down the alley with potholes.
Exactly.
1,000 potholes each way.
A thousand potholes each way.
That's
Yeah.
our normal streets here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, so this notchback's been a diamond in the rough. It's been a learning process. It's been progress made on the car. You know, every time I, make a video, I always tell myself, the goal for this video is to make it better, not make it perfect.
Right.
Just make it better. And I always tell people, like, if I wanted a really clean notchback to take to shows, I'd probably have to find something that was already kind of,
Yeah.
you know.
Yeah.
But if you want to have fun with a car, you don't have to worry about getting a dent or scratch or something.
Right.
Um, I've had I've had one car in my life that I put together. I had a 1972 Chevy Camaro. I did the whole split bumper thing with it, and I got the car painted. I got the engine rebuilt. I did the suspension on it. Got the interior reupholstered. I did everything to that car. I bought custom two-piece wheels for that car, forged wheels. The car was immaculate. It was beautiful. It just caused so much attention, and I was so afraid of hitting every pothole.
Yeah.
I really did not enjoy um, owning it as much as I thought I would.
Nice.
It was beautiful. Don't get me wrong. It was great, but it wasn't it. I enjoyed a Toyota Corolla more than that car that I own.
No doubt.
Because I could drive it everywhere, Like,
Mm-hmm.
I couldn't take that car to the movies without, I'm watching this movie, and in the back of my head I'm like, damn, I wonder if somebody's gonna steal it.
Yeah, you get
Or
to the point where you can't even walk, a car
yeah,
and go to the bathroom.
yeah,
My blue car, I will not leave it.
yeah.
Yeah.
So
You just pop the hood and take something and be on eBay.
yeah, exactly. So
Airplane.
so that's that's one of the things that I told myself when I got this car. I said, what's the goal for it, right? Or, like, am I gonna dump 20-30 grand in it, or is it gonna sit in a shop most of the time, or is it just gonna be driven most of the time? So
Mine,
Yeah.
mine's
yeah.
got patina. It's it's a black car.
Mhm.
Top of the fenders are baked, but the car is straight, very straight, and
Yeah.
a couple of dings could be taken out with some PDR. But I think, like you said, if I had a '06 Mustang GT. It had fresh paint, and I just had all kinds of work done to it. The
Mhm.
California special bumper and all that stuff. But I mean, I had to use every 10 minutes or 10 seconds to be just dust all over it.
Mhm.
This car, I don't have to worry about that stuff.
Yeah.
They don't know what's under the hood. It looks like crap on the outside, but anyway, it don't really look like crap. It made to them, compared to someone with a nice paint job. But I'd rather put my money into very nice wheels and keep
Mhm.
the patina.
Yeah. And here's the other thing that a lot of people don't understand. Like, your car, like my car, has a specific character. You know, like, I've seen a lot of black notchbacks that look the same.
Yep.
You know, other than just one might have like a pony wheel that's a 17. One might have a CCW, but they all look the same. You know, they look
Right.
awesome, but when you
It's
have a
kind of like
car,
it's kind of like row homes, you know. They all look the
yeah,
same.
Well, that's
yeah,
why I kept my titanium gray interior because everyone's jerking that out for black.
Yeah.
So I don't want to be like everyone else.
Yeah.
And
And
because titanium gray was only, I think, 2 years as well. But if
yeah.
everyone is throwing those away, I'd be the only car in the world with it, right?
Yep. And if everybody's getting rid of them, if you're listening, hand them over, please.
Yeah, exactly.
Everybody wants
Oscar,
the new Recaro seats.
yep, now they do.
I know. I went. Yeah, my seats were awful. I did mine myself. So
Awesome. Well, I have
I've
to
got
check that
some
video out.
videos. I'm working on dropping some stuff coming up.
Awesome.
It's
Look
just,
forward to seeing.
life gets in the way.
Oh, for sure. Yeah.
So Oscar,
Yes, sir.
are you able to take us to your garage and show us your car?
Yeah.
Yeah, cool.
Don't be afraid. It's a
Big
mess in there.
screen, baby. Making big screen.
It's a mess in there.
I will. Oh man, we're
Let
good.
me go ahead and cut the video just so I can walk out
Okay,
there.
yeah, take your time. Get
All
it
right,
set
good.
up. It's all good.
A neat garage is an unused garage.
Oh no,
Yeah.
yeah.
True that. So Lewis, when we were talking about the Cobra booster and installing it, you had this look on your face like, what? You know?
I don't know, man. Look, everyone talks about beating it, right? About beating the shock tower, and yeah, that's the easiest way that you're gonna get
Yeah.
that done.
I didn't beat mine, so
I know, but that's really the easiest way to get it done. The second easiest way is to, extend or widen the holes.
mhm.
But if you don't want to do anything, like say if you have a car that you really care about, I did that to the T-top, man, and I don't care about that car. It just takes more time, but the correct way of doing it without beating anything is like you loosen up your pedal assembly completely until it's loose, and you pull it back, and the booster will fit right in. You don't have to like beat it, you don't have to extend the holes or anything. It just goes right in.
Nice. That's a great tip.
Yeah, but I mean that is the method that takes the longest. But
Yeah.
then you don't have to like beat on your car.
Right.
Or like grind, away like, part of the firewall.
Yeah. Yeah, I lengthen out my holes, but I mean, it's fine.
Yeah, that's the least. It's kind of like
It's the least cumbersome to do.
Yeah.
So. But however, I'm probably gonna be switching to Hydro Boost anyway,
Yeah.
So.
But the fact is, you can't do it without doing any of that. You just loosen up, the brake pedal assembly. You gotta bring it, like push it back, and then the booster slides right in.
That's true. Hey, there it is.
All right, guys. So here's the car, and I have it up on jack stands at the moment.
Uh-huh.
And that's because when I was doing the fuel pump and the sending unit, I left it on there because I wanted to touch up a little. I wanted to do a little paint on the rear end, but I since then recently acquired this car here.
Oh man.
Cool.
Yeah, this is 5.4 liter S55 AMG MK113 supercharged car.
Oh, you ain't playing around. Wow.
Well, I'll explain why this car is here. But so right over there, here, let me see. Let me walk over here so I can show you guys. And you'll see why there's such a mess in my garage right now.
Uh-huh.
So this is the giveaway car that I had given away that I got back.
Okay.
And then here's the car with a bunch of Mercedes parts over it.
Right.
Um,
And that's the one you want to keep stock, right? You want to just keep it kind of stockish?
which this one?
No, the other one, the red one.
Oh, well, this car has the lower and upper trick flow intake and
Okay,
stuff
that's the
like
one
that.
that has the 306 in it. Right?
Yeah, this one has the 306. This is the one I'm driving to Foxtoberfest.
Okay.
But all of these parts came with this car right here. Yeah, this car there.
Okay.
But this car right here is a car that I had given to a young guy, maybe 17 years old. He
Okay.
couldn't do, he couldn't do much with it, so he returned it. And
What are
yeah,
you gonna do with that one?
so I recently gave it away to my 15-year-old nephew.
Okay.
Cool.
So it's gonna go to him in California. So I'm gonna ask Lewis to go out there and please help them with this car.
No doubt.
So yeah, and this car right here, you see the paint, does it look kind of glossy?
Yeah.
It did not look like that. I did a full color correction, which I never thought this car would actually look good. And it looks pretty nice.
So was that pretty hard to do, a color correction?
Once I understood it, it was easy, but it's not hard at all.
Okay. So
So
what are the steps? I've never done one before. So what are the steps to that?
yeah, so let me go back in and then we'll talk about that, okay?
Yeah, man.
All right, 1 second.
All right.
Because it's really hot out here right now.
I can only imagine.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's why I'm inside.
All
It's
right.
kind of cold here, man. It's been raining, so
Has it?
yeah.
Yeah, we're gonna be over 100 heat index for the next 7 days after this.
My goodness.
I've been cutting grass twice a week. I mean, all my stuff looks really good, but until next month,
Yeah.
then I won't be cutting grass for a whole month because we won't get any rain then.
Nice in Maine. I hear you, Rich. Man, these planes will not stop flying
I know,
overhead
dude.
today. My goodness.
All right, guys. I'm back.
Well, at least it's a
Awesome.
jet. I got woke up Tuesday by the whole house shaking. I'm close to, 7 miles to what they call Muhammad Ali Airport, Stanford Field. That's where the UPS terminal is. Everybody heard about what happened. But anyway, I'm like, what the heck is that? Because I thought it was an earthquake.
Oh, wow.
And then I see later on the news, 6 fighter jets took off from there altogether.
Oh, wow.
And I knew it was something military, but
Yeah.
that doesn't happen often here. So we're on our way somewhere.
True.
But yeah, I got up early that day.
So what's up, Oscar, with the paint correction?
Oh, yeah. So when I was trying to get this car ready for that November show, I had a little buddy of mine reach out to me, which he has a really nice GT that he's doing like a Cobra clone on. And I met him, and he had done some work for one of my cars a while back ago. After I met him, he told me he did like color correction and stuff like that. And I was trying to buff my car just by hand, and he reached out to me on Instagram. He said, "Hey, you know what? I have a little buffer. You want to use it? I'll bring it and I'll show you." So because of him, he came out, showed me how to use it, and then I was able to learn pretty fast on how to do that. And then I learned how to wet sand on my own. And then once I got comfortable with it, I started learning about different polishes, and then I was able to bring this paint back to life. The color is pretty deep. Obviously, where the sunburn is on top and on the hood and then the trunklet is already, the paint's already, or the clear coat's already kind of gone, but the rest of the car pretty cleaned up pretty nicely. So it wasn't,
Okay.
yeah, it wasn't very difficult to do, to be honest. I thought it was going to be worse, but
Right.
I just thought to myself, well, if I mess it up, at least I messed it up. How much worse can it get?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
You
so
know, and at least you're doing it yourself, so that's good. So
yeah, and that kind of inspired me too. I might possibly be taking like a body and paint class too,
okay, right on.
because once I started doing the whole color correction and once I started sanding the car down, I figured like, oh, okay, I started kind of understanding it, so I might do that.
Yeah.
Because paint jobs are getting really expensive. So
Yes, they are.
yeah.
So to
So
answer your
yeah.
question, Gary, yeah, I do live near an airport, unfortunately, but today it just seems like the planes are just constantly going overhead for whatever reason. So,
Um, I didn't even realize there was people commenting on here, guys. Well, eh,
yeah, they're
yeah,
kind of having their own conversation.
yeah.
Can you see
So
them?
I see, yeah, I see somebody now. Altered Stangs.
Yeah, it's Steve up in Canada.
Yes.
Yeah, if he's on here, I love your videos. I love watching his cross country videos. He's gone
Yeah,
all over the place in his cars, and he has that Dutch car, right?
yeah, the one he just acquired, basically. Yeah, the black one.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I couldn't wait to see if he found that wing that came on that car.
yeah,
I was hoping he could find it.
yeah, me too.
But
Hey,
yeah,
Steve at Altered Stings, you could check your email, man. I sent you an email a few days ago, actually. So,
yeah. So yeah, so with the other car that's sitting next to the Mustang, I had a Lincoln Aviator E 2003 for quite some time, and then I had a gentleman reach out to me about potentially trading it for a car.
uh-huh.
I thought, well, I'll see. And he had a little rat rod car, and I said, you know what, I'm not into those. Sorry. So like 6 months later, he reached out and he's like, I think I have a car you might like.
Uh-huh.
And I said, okay. He's like, but I'm gonna need a little bit of time to work on it. So he did, and that's why I own the Mercedes. He
Oh,
traded
nice.
me, even Steven, for that Lincoln Aviator.
Even Steven, really?
That's an awesome trade.
That is an awesome trade, bro.
I couldn't believe it, to be honest. I'm like, oh, there's got to be a catch. Nope. He needed a family vehicle, something bigger, and I thought, man, this car's cool. So it's pretty fast car, it's supercharged. It's a really nice car, but I don't know much about them, so I definitely got to take my time with it.
CCW Fox says he's cutting his grass and
Hey,
listening.
what's up, CCW Fox? I love
Hey,
watching his videos too, man. His
his
stuff is
videos are awesome.
awesome. Yeah, love watching his stuff. Definitely a cool guy for sure. I appreciate all the shares and the reposts and the likes.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Yep. So yeah. I had a question for you, OG.
Uh-oh, what's up?
Is that the first time you remove your dash on a Fox?
On a Fox?
Uh-huh.
It's the second time I've actually done it, actually.
Okay.
And the first time I did it was just kind of like, halfway kind of,
Yeah.
so this is the first time I've actually done it like all the way out of the car with the wires just hanging, so
And it
yeah.
looked intimidating, I'm not gonna lie.
I ain't gonna lie either, man. It looks pretty daunting, but
Yeah, but I guess once you've done it one time, you kind of understand a little bit better, right?
yeah, for the most part, I did take some pictures of certain things so I could, document it obviously and know where the plugs go.
Yeah,
But
for sure.
my whole thing is right now I'm kind of torn between replacing the whole wiring harness,
Okay.
with like a auto wire harness or Ron Francis.
Gotcha.
However, Lewis says and Rick both say that, that the stock harness is probably the best harness. You know what I mean? And so it's
Yeah.
just that, the car is really clean, obviously, and the wiring harness is in fairly good shape. It's in really good shape, actually. But it's just that the wires are stiff, and I'm really worried about bending something that's going to break anyway, because it's so old, so that's why I was going to just replace the whole thing,
Yeah.
so
How many miles is on your car?
36,000.
I wouldn't worry about it.
And that's documented miles. So
Yeah.
36,000 miles.
I wouldn't worry about it. My car, the guy that I bought it from, he said that car was baking in the sun for like 4 years before he decided to sell it. And the guy before him, who knows?
Yeah.
And then I had it sitting for 2 years in the sun.
And that's
And-
desert sun, so
Yeah.
Yeah, that's super hot.
So I don't think you he'd have any issues with it.
Yeah, I already broke a couple of clips coming out, but I can get those clips replaced,
Yeah.
So
But as
it's
far as
not-
the wire's insulated anyhow, right?
it's insulated, but sometimes the insulation cracks and leaves the bare wiring that could short out, and so that's what I'm concerned about.
Yeah.
But I think it should be fine. So save some money because the auto wire harness costs like $1,300.
Yeah. Yeah. All the Foxbody parts are getting really expensive, huh?
Yeah, used or new, otherwise, it's still expensive right now. So
Yeah. I was mentioning, and when I was invited to the 50 Asylum podcast, I was mentioning that one of the cool things that I like about the Foxbody community is like, if they know that you're a true Foxbody enthusiast and you're really like working on your vehicle for the long haul, for the long term, people will trade you parts, give you parts, hand out parts. Like I've given away a lot of nice parts to different people.
yeah,
Because I too once was really young and understood that, man, how am I gonna get this money for this,
yeah,
But that's one of the things that the Foxbody community is about, Like have you guys been seeing like D's Garage lately? On that giveaway thing he was doing for that convertible?
yeah. That sounds familiar. Yeah,
Yeah. So from time to time he'll post up like cleaning out the garage, cleaning out the shop, and then he'll post like everything he's trying to get rid of, like Foxbody parts, and they're like 80% off from them.
Oh wow.
Yeah, so
I
there's a
have
lot
to
of
keep
cool.
that in mind for sure.
Yeah, so there's a lot of cool stuff that a lot of people are willing to just, And here's the other thing too that I noticed, like a lot of people that are going to like the Coyote swaps.
Yeah,
Some of these guys put these awesome 347s, put these awesome 302s, 363s, 306s together, and then they get the little Coyote swap bug, and they'll sell their stuff for the pennies.
Yeah.
So keeping an eye out for that stuff. I mean, find some good deals for sure.
yeah. So would you ever consider coyote swapping your Foxbody?
To be honest, no.
Yeah,
If
why
I
is
ever
that?
wanted to, if I ever wanted to feel what a Coyote was, I probably would purchase a newer car, like a 2016, 2017.
Yeah,
And the reason why is because we go back to what I said earlier. The Foxbody takes me back to a space and a time
right.
where I felt
And a
really,
and a
really,
certain sound,
yeah.
right? So
The sound itself, does something to me. I don't know how I'd feel if I sat in a Foxbody and I'm chasing this feeling, and I turn the car on. It sounds so different. I won't be.
yeah,
It won't take me back to that moment in
yeah.
time.
It's just not the same thing, right? So
No, I mean I love them when I see them done. I mean,
oh
I
yeah,
think they look. I think they look awesome. You know, but me personally, I don't. I really like the small block sound for sure.
yeah, same here. So since you've been building your DIY skills and whatnot, do you think you're going to stick with DIY, or are you going to move on to some other aspect of it?
No, yeah, I think I'm I'm just gonna DIY this whole car. Like I mentioned, even if I do decide to paint the car one day, it's more than likely gonna be me who's gonna do that.
Well, take it
Yeah,
on. You never know if you can do it until you try. So
yeah. So I look forward to those days. Definitely. You know, I recently had a newborn baby, so my son is my.
congratulations.
Thank you,
Congratulations, man.
thank you, brother. My first son. He's about a month and 2 weeks old. So
Okay.
at the moment, it's just family, work, family, work, family, work, family, work. So I like the car,
Wow.
but I don't like to. I don't like to take too much time off my family for the car. I love the car. Don't get me wrong; it makes me feel good. But you
Yeah.
know, my my family is my priority. So
Well, yeah. Family first, man. That's what it should be
yeah,
about.
yeah. So yeah, I'm excited for that. Just work hard right now and take care of the family, take care of my girls, take care of my son, my wife,
So, do
and
you
enjoy.
plan on teaching your girls how to work on cars as well?
You know, that's a really interesting topic that I see a lot of guys like they'll make videos with their daughters and like I think no matter what, your children always want to be around you, whether you're teaching them how to work on a car or teaching them basketball, volleyball, or whatever. But both of my daughters, they like to be around me. I don't think they understand or grasp what the importance for me, the whole car situation is.
Yeah.
But I think in due time they'll be able to. I'll be able to tell
Just
if they're
take time.
interested. Yeah,
Yeah.
if they're interested, they'll show it. If they're not,
That's
I'll
okay too, right? So
yeah. It's for me. I'm happy with it. My oldest daughter one day told me, one time I'm like, do you like my
No,
car?
no way.
I was so excited, right? Do you like my car? And she's like, no, daddy, it's old.
oh, that's cold blooded right there.
Yeah.
That's one of those things
So
that just cut you at your heart, like, oh,
yeah, so at first I thought I was like, what do you mean? But that was a moment where I realized like as a parent, sometimes we just want to push our children to like the stuff that we like, right? But I want my children to like it for their own reasons, not because I'm
exactly.
I'm pushing it on them. The little one, my 2.5-year-old or almost 3-year-old.
That's your son, right? The
No,
son.
so I have a 9-year-old and I have she'll be 3 soon, and then my son was just born about a
Just
month
born. Okay.
month and a half ago. Yeah. So she likes to be around me. She doesn't care if she's doing anything with cars or whatnot, but she cannot stand loud cars. The exhaust
Oh,
freak her out. She does not like it. So as of now, I'm I'm 0 for 2, and we'll see if the boy likes the car. So
yeah.
I'm sure he will, man.
yeah. So which is okay. It's
Yeah.
if they like it one day, but I feel like as a father, I'm definitely gonna teach them, like what to look out for in cars and stuff like that.
Well,
I
it's
don't
all
want.
about the quality time, right?
Yeah,
So
yeah. That's what it's about. We could be painting or we could be riding bikes or whatever it is. It's just, quality for my children for sure.
So cool. With my son, it's a funny story because when I first
obviously.
showed him my car,
Yeah,
he was like, like about it. Like he didn't really care.
yeah,
But I watch YouTube, and I watch everybody's videos, man. But like I had a James video playing, right? And he does his intro and he shows the Black Widow,
yeah.
and that just clicked with him, man. So he just like started like, hey, Black Widow,
Oh, he
And then he
loved it.
started calling him Uncle James,
Oh, that's so
And
cool.
he noticed, so he didn't like my car when I showed it to him, but he noticed that it's also a Foxbody. So because he liked James' car so much, now he likes my
Now
car
he
too.
knows.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
cool. So he didn't
Wow.
like your car because it was
No,
yours. He liked your
no,
car
he likes it
because it
because
looked like Uncle James'
it's like
car.
the Black Widow. Yeah.
Well, that's an
That's
honor.
cool.
That's an honor.
That's
Yeah.
pretty cool, man. Yeah, kids are funny with stuff like this,
Have a good night, Mark.
Later, Mark.
Yeah, kids are funny with this type of stuff, but I'm happy that I get to experience all of it with them,
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
I grew up without a father. I don't know what my life would have been like if I had. I don't know what my interest would be, right?
Yeah.
Um so, I just enjoy them and see what their interests are, Try to
Yeah. Until they found girls. Yeah, I get it.
Yep, my boys look. Yep, yep.
Exactly.
Yeah, that's how it is for sure,
They'll double
So
back to it later. So
it'll come back full circle for sure.
yeah, always does. The one
Yeah.
thing I appreciated about you, Oscar, is the fact that, you never let your life circumstances like stop you from being successful. And the one thing that we spoke about last night was the fact that you're like an entrepreneur. You have what, 3 different businesses, you said?
Yeah. Well, not businesses, I would say, I started a t-shirt print business almost 20 years ago. And I started because I just, I felt like I had no option, I really, really, my number one goal was to be supportive for my mom, and that drove something in me when I was really, really young. Um, And most of my life, I've entered like different little ventures and stuff like that. You know, I didn't know what the word entrepreneur was until recent. You know, people started using it, and you have these life coaches talk and
Right.
motivational speakers and all that stuff. But I just, you know, I've always thought that if you work hard, you know, you can get yourself out of a different situation that you might not want to be in, you know. So um, I do quite a few things, you know, one being the t-shirt print, you know, like this kind of stuff.
Uh-huh.
And then I do a series of other stuff, you know, mobile detailing and selling some building material stuff. Um, and then just, you know, the normal hustle anybody would have, you know. Um, so, but definitely, you know, the last job I had taught me a lot. It taught me it taught me a lot. It taught me what I wanted out of life and what I didn't want out of life. It
Okay.
taught me that I had to work hard, and it taught me that I wasn't gonna have good days and I was gonna have bad days.
Yeah.
But for the most part, you know, sitting here today, it seemed like everything went smooth, but man, I've had a rocky road, like a very rocky road. Days where I had $1, days where I had 100, days where I had 10 cents, days where I was negative 100, and
Oh
you
yeah.
know, entrepreneurship isn't for everybody.
No,
If
not
you
at all.
are, if you're a, if you're a person that is afraid of having nothing and starting all over again 100 times over, entrepreneurship isn't for you.
Yep.
Because when you first begin your entrepreneurship experience, you will have more bad days than good ones,
Yes.
and you will question all of them. You know, especially when you already have family, and you know you'll feel down on yourself. You'll feel like, am I doing the right thing for my family? But
Right.
there has to be way over there. You know, you see the end goal right there.
Yeah.
And a lot of people, if you can't see that there's an end goal way over there, as far as your eyes can see,
Mm-hmm.
then yeah, just you know,
You have
it's
to
not
stay
gonna be for you.
focused, right? So
Yeah, yeah. The thing about entrepreneurship is the mistakes. One mistake can set you back 5 years if you're not careful.
yeah.
You know, and I think I had a few of those throughout my time where, you know, I told the story one time here at the 50 Asylum when I got invited. Um, I remember I went to the store. I told my wife I was gonna go grocery shopping. My firstborn was in her arms when I got back, and I came back without groceries because when I was at the grocery store, the card declined. The next card declined.
Oh no.
My accounts were levied because of back taxes, because of paperwork that I didn't take care of, because I was new to entrepreneurship. I didn't understand the huge responsibility of keeping everything in order, you know, being on track with stuff, trying to figure it out all. Being a one-man show is probably the hardest part of entrepreneurship, you know. You just really don't know when you're gonna start delegating those things, you know. You really don't know
Right.
if you're ever gonna have help or if you're gonna be solo by yourself, you know, the whole time. So, you know, I remember walked in, my daughter is sitting on her lap, she's smiling at me, she's like, "What happened?" And then deep inside of me, I just kind of want to cry, you know. I'm like, man.
Yeah.
But I had to figure it out pretty fast, you know. I had to figure out that, you know, I needed to do something and needed to do it fast. So I went back to California, got some more work, got some deposits, send her a little bit of money, and then I'm like, okay, I'll be fine. And not even a day later, I got hit with a second levy, wiped my
Oh my
account again.
goodness. Oh my gosh.
So looking back, you know, how do you recover from those setbacks
Grind
fast?
it out, man. Grind it
Yeah.
out.
How do you recover is just, you know, you keep pushing and pushing and pushing and shoving, you know, until you see some light.
See you, Bama. Take care, brother.
Later,
Yeah.
Bama.
So for sure, you know, those are the things that I talk about when I speak about entrepreneurship, you have to have something deep inside you, you know,
Right.
that tells you, you know, I can't be stuck in this. I mean, don't get me wrong. There are so many wonderful jobs out there, you know, that pay well. But at the time, I didn't have those options.
Mm-hmm.
At the time, I didn't have, yeah, I didn't see that a job was going to get me out of the rat race that I was in, you know.
Right.
I didn't think that, I mean, making $9 an hour for many years and then getting bumped up to $11 an hour. I just thought, well, what's next? They're going to bump me up to just $12 an hour. And life was moving fast, you know, before I knew it. I'm looking at people at McDonald's making more money than me. And I'm like, what is going on here? What am I
Yeah.
doing wrong?
Okay.
So then one day I just decided, man, I need to cut my own checks. I need to tell myself what I want to get paid.
Okay.
And I need to figure that out. I need to be the guy who is responsible for my own personal check.
Right.
And the reason why I needed to figure that out fast was because one of my second goals in life was that when I did have children, I wanted to have something for them. I wanted to be able to spend time with them. I wanted to be able to be a different type of father, you know. I wanted to be present
Right.
because obviously I didn't have that when I was growing up, so I didn't want to do that to them, you know. I wanted to be a present father. And the only way to do that is to have money because I understood really early on that money gives you options.
Yeah.
Money doesn't make you happy. I mean,
But it
it
gives you
does,
options. It gives
but
you options. Right.
it gives you every option. And yeah,
Right.
you know, every option that you need to survive or to live a good life,
Uh-huh.
you need to have uh your financial status, you know. So
Well, I think you and Lewis should actually talk, because he's an entrepreneur too, as well. So
It's crazy how much I've connected with everything you've said, man. It's
it's
yeah,
like I'm looking in the mirror at both of you guys, man.
yeah.
That's crazy.
yeah. Yeah, you know what it is too? I don't even know if it's right to admit or to even think about it, but I mean, my brother and myself, we grew up in poverty, you know. We
Yeah,
weren't
that's a lot to do with it. Yep.
we weren't poor to the fact that we didn't have shoes or clothing, but if I'm honest, my mom was the only person working. My mom was, you know, not to throw her business out there, but my mom was probably making like $300 a week. And she had to pay for groceries. She had to pay for a roof. She had to pay for her clothes. She had to
Yeah.
pay for our Q-tips or shampoo. Like, I just thought, man, how do you? I look back and I'm like, how did my mom stretch that? You know how? And then I could think of, I'm a man working hard every day, and I have my own mental challenges. She like, how does my mom feel? You know, how does she feel? So I just, man, when I realized, like, I'm gonna say a story. When I was 13 years old, the guys that I lived across the street from, their parents used to give them like $5 every day to go to school. You know, because in school they would sell chips and they would sell little stuff like that,
Oh man.
and you know, my buddies, I would always look at them. They would get their little 5 spot from their mom and dad, and you know, I'm like,
Mm-hmm.
man, tomorrow I'm gonna ask my mom for $1 because I don't want to continue being that freeloader. Because they used to have this word when you were a kid. Oh man, well, stop being a freeloader because I was always asking people for chips because I never had money for them, you know. And I remember I asked my mom one time. I said, "Mom, can I get $1?" You know, and she's like, "I don't have money. I don't have money." And then I remember I screamed at her. I'm embarrassed to say, but I screamed at her and I'm like, "What do you mean you don't have money? What do you do to all your $300 you make? I saw your check." Embarrassing to say, but
Oh,
I'm
that's
like,
typical kid answer.
yeah. So, you know, I just thought that was the day where I decided that, oh, I need to make money on my own. And then when I started making money on my own, man, I wanted to cry just thinking of, man, I screamed at my mom for $1. God knows all the problems, troubles she had in her head trying to figure out how she was going to get her next meal.
Well, hopefully you've apologized to her.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Of course. Yeah. Man, my mom is, yeah.
Like
My
OG just said, man, like it's like looking in the mirror, dude. Like hearing you speak, it's like looking in
yeah.
the mirror, literally. Like
Yeah.
my mom was pretty much the same situation that you're describing. I remember you just brought back that feeling for me of being in school and seeing other people like having money to buy stuff, and like
Yeah.
you're like wondering like why am I different, right? Like
Yeah. I
yeah,
mean,
man.
it was interesting times because the first thing well, the first thing most people would think of is like, oh, it's because you don't have a dad, or whatever. But I never saw not having a father as a negative in my life.
Yeah,
I never even really thought about it, to be honest. Father's Day would roll around and other kids would feel sorry for me. I was just like, whatever. It never really,
Yeah.
that subject for me wasn't ever a sad subject. I just knew it wasn't, I didn't have it and that was it. It
That's
was,
the only life you knew, right?
yeah,
So
it was absent. It was absent. The feeling was absent 100%. Even now, I could talk about it. I don't get choked up. I don't think nothing of it. Um, it's
just the
just,
hand that life dealt you.
that was it. That was it. Yeah. And but I do remember seeing my mother suffer, when I look back. I do remember seeing my mom cry in a room, not understanding why she's crying.
yeah,
Listening to music, just probably reminiscing or thinking. And now as an adult, and now as I have children, and then when I find myself having troubles, I do think like, man, like what am I gonna do now? Like I can only imagine what she was going through. You know.
Right. Yeah,
So
I know. It's pretty rough, man.
so
Can be.
definitely it put a lot of perspective in my life growing up. Once I realized, because I started I started like little teen jobs, little. I started with a teen jobs. I was that annoying kid knocking on your door trying to sell you newspaper. Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, 12 years old.
Hey,
And truth
man.
be told, let me tell you. So when I started that job, I, I saw a little paper thing and said teen jobs. I pulled it and I called them and I act like I was my father. And when they told me I needed to sign a permission slip from my mom, I forged her signature so I can go to work. I was
Oh,
leaving
wow.
the house. I was leaving the house at 5 p.m. I would jump in a van with these two grown men. They would drop me off in a random neighborhood,
Mm-hmm.
and I would have to knock on this door. And my mom just thought I was outside playing with my friends,
She was
and
out there working.
I was in some other city. Like
Oh, my gosh.
that's just how it was. And I'm 12 years old when this is going on. I can't imagine letting my kids out at 12 years old and not knowing where they are at any
Well,
given
things are a lot
time.
more dangerous now,
Well,
obviously.
I
So,
mean, they were dangerous back then. I grew up in a
well,
really
yeah.
nasty neighborhood. I
Yeah.
grew up in a neighborhood where if you were 10, 11, 12 years old, it didn't matter. You like my one of my first buddies that got shot and murdered was 11 years old.
What?
And I think of like as an older man, I think of like, man, who at 25 or
Wow.
30 years old is thinking, "Oh, where's this little guy from? Let me bang on him and then let me shoot him."
Yeah, that's crazy, man.
And it wasn't anything other than just a normal life for me. I never
Right.
knew. I didn't know that where I grew up was dangerous. It was normal.
Well, that's all you knew, you
That's
know?
all I knew. I knew
So,
maybe like a 40 block radius. I didn't think there was any other states. I didn't think there was any other countries. I just knew like that was my life, when I was that
dang.
young. I didn't know what a vacation was. I didn't know what a nice pair of shoes was. I didn't know none of that stuff. So yeah, very early on I had to grow up real quick.
Yeah.
Yeah, real quick. That's why I got my driver's license at 15 and a half.
Take you out. Wow.
Yeah, got my driver's license at 15 and a half because every time I asked somebody for a favor to take me somewhere, no one was ever available for me. And once I realized that nobody was going to be available for me, I had to show up for myself every time.
Yeah.
I remember the first day when I, when I took my classes for my driver's test. I finally finished the classes and I had to go do the driver's test. I remember I asked a couple of my uncles and a couple of my friends. Oh, sorry, we're busy. And I
Oh
remember
wow.
I asked one of my little neighbors, I'm like, hey, let me borrow your bike. Let me borrow your bike. So he let me borrow this little tiny little bike, and I had to ride that thing like 25 miles away to the nearest DMV where I was gonna take the test. And I remember I'm like, I got one shot at this. I'm not coming back. I'm passing this thing now. And I passed the test and I was driving the little bicycle back because at that time I was already working. I had a little Saturday job. And I'm riding back this bike and the chain keeps falling off the bike. I'm trying to rush back to work scared because I don't want to get fired because that's the only job I have. I got my license, but I'm riding this bike back and then the chain keeps falling off and it keeps falling off and I keep hitting my shins because I keep falling off. And then I
Yeah.
remember I grabbed the little bike and I picked it up and I was so angry and I screamed and I was like, ah, and I slammed it and I just ran and I started running and I ran for like 30 minutes until I got to my job.
Man.
Dang.
The frustration was so dramatic that in that moment, the anger that I felt because the stupid little bike kept dropping me because of the chain kept falling off of it, I just left it there. And when I got back home, I told my buddy, I said, I'm going to buy you a new bike. Don't worry about it.
Yeah.
But it was just a lot of frustration built up because I didn't have a ride to get there. Nobody could be there for me. Nobody
Right.
was there to congratulate me. Oh, you passed. You got your license. No one ever, I didn't grow up with the patting on the back or anything. Not that, most people deserve it, but I mean, when you're a kid, when you're that, you know,
Yeah.
you want the, not that when you're a kid, it's not recognition that you want, is you want somebody to give you some approval.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Someone to acknowledge you a little that, oh, you work hard and you did it, congratulations, like
Wow.
those, you got a little win, in life. But I didn't really get to experience most of those. Most of my wins were like, dang, I didn't get shot today. That's pretty good.
No doubt.
I got
So
chased with guns, got shanked in the back of my ear, got into
geez.
fights, got shot at. Um, but we go back to it, like everybody has their own story. Like I'm not saying mine is the saddest story, and I don't want to sound like my story was a sad story. I just
No,
grew
but
up.
it's your story, you
Yeah,
know. So,
I just grew up in a place, and that's what I know, and that's it. There's worse stories, than mine,
Yeah.
10 times worse.
so then for those who may not know, how were you able to acquire your driver's license at 15 and a half?
So I remember um, somebody had mentioned to me that you can take these classes, and I remember I'm like, well, what do I need to take these classes? Well, first of all, you needed $150 to pay, and then you had to find the school, and then I found this little school, and you would have to go 3 times a week. They teach you. You ran up the hours that you needed, and then they'll tell you, okay, you're ready for it, and then you would go take your driver's test. I mean, your written test. If you passed it, then you would have to wait. Like for me, I think it was 2 months, and then you can take your driver's test because you had to be a specific age. I had to be 15 and a half to be able to take my driver's test.
Okay.
And
Okay.
when I went to go take the driver's test, well, I had to rent a car from somebody there because I had no one to take me.
Wow.
So I had to rent a car from a random stranger. I had to give him, I think I gave him like $50 just to borrow his car.
Wow.
And once I did that, I remember I almost failed because I was driving, I was making turns wherever I wanted. The guy's like, I didn't tell you to turn here. I'm like, oh, my bad. He's like,
uh,
you got to pay attention. I'm like, oh, I am paying attention, but I just felt like I knew the area. So, but yeah, so yeah, you have those experiences growing up. Like I said, I hate saying poverty because poverty could be so much worse.
Yeah.
yeah.
But it is a form of poverty, and I think it is. I don't want to downplay you know anything that I lived through either. It
Right.
is what it is, and at the moment that's how I was. Like if I heard somebody say that They made $20 an hour. I thought they were rich.
No doubt.
Yeah.
If because my first job I was making $7 an hour.
Right.
And it was nothing. I was probably more than likely was being exploited, but that's just how it was. You didn't know any better. For me, I'm like, dang, somebody's paying me something to do something. Okay.
Right.
And I needed it more than anything, so I had to.
Well, I think my dad would call both you and Lewis self-made men. I mean, because you basically had no guidance growing up, but you still found a way to make yourself successful, have a family, so they call that like self-made men, because my dad was kind of like that because he lived to be 103, but so
Wow.
he was born in 1914, and his mom died giving birth to him, so he never knew what she looked like ever. He never even saw a picture of her.
That's
And
horrible.
so um, he was raised by his dad. And so this is going to trip you out because he actually had 22 siblings. So
Wow.
my dad was the baby of 22.
Wow.
Yeah. And so, he grew up having to struggle, this, that, and the other. And this was back
Mm-hmm.
during the time when my dad was saying that
Oh, it was horrible for him, I'm
that,
sure.
that he made like, he had a job where he was
Pennies.
making 50 cents a week,
Yeah. Yep.
But of course the economy was way different back then,
Yeah.
so
But the challenge was the same.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, my very first job that I had personally, I was 14,
Mm-hmm.
no, 13, and it was a summer job, and I was making 335 an hour. So,
Yeah.
and I thought I was rich, man. I thought I was rich. I had
Oh,
all these grandiose plans, I'm
yeah.
gonna buy this and do that and do this, that, and the other, and then I realized, oh, I don't have enough money still.
The
So,
funny thing about it, when I was that young, I didn't I didn't dream of
it's
plans.
right, Rich.
I didn't dream of cars or houses. I didn't dream of I just wanted my mom not to struggle. I
Right,
just didn't want her to worry anymore. That was my biggest thing. I was After I realized what she was really like going through, that was like my fixation to to stop that.
right. Well,
I
not to take away from those,
Yeah.
who have, both parents, they don't have to
Oh
struggle, so
no.
to speak, you know what I mean?
That's a
But my statement that I'm about to make is that I personally feel that where there's a little bit of struggle or a lot of struggle, I
Yeah.
think that actually builds character,
Yeah,
and actually
for
helps
sure.
you to be a better person, you know?
You know,
So,
that's one of the things that I wanted to mention. I think in the last podcast I didn't get to mention, like, um whether you have both parents or a single parent, the struggles can be the same.
Yeah.
yeah,
Like there
yeah,
is no perfect family and there is no perfect scenario, you know, because um we all go through the challenges of life. We all go through a specific struggle. Mine just happened to be a single mother.
yeah,
And truth be told, um when my grandmother passed away, I was I was 5 years old. So my mom was a young woman at the time.
mm,
Her father passed away when she was 10 years old. So she didn't even have guidance.
Yeah.
So my mom didn't even get to go to the 5th grade of school.
oh, wow,
And my mom had to acquire her own personal responsibilities really quick as a kid.
no doubt,
So when we thought when I talk about my mom, the only thing I could think of is resilience, like
yeah.
just hard working, never quitting. Just
My dad was like that.
Yeah.
you know. So
And I think that what you just mentioned, the type of character that you build when you don't have much more, I
yeah,
think that's what that kind of never quit in me comes from. I think most people that endure more than enjoy, I think that's what kind of happens in life.
oh yeah. Hey
Because
Donald,
yeah.
VRM, go ahead.
Yeah, so yeah, I think a lot of my mom's story and how proud I am of her, you know, for never quitting cuz she could have been like, "You know what?
Yeah, but there are certain things our parents go through that you don't understand until you're a parent yourself.
Yeah. The funny thing is I always understood it. I wanted to be her hero, when I was a
Yeah,
kid. I wanted to be my mom's hero. I always imagined things as a kid like, "Oh, if somebody screamed at my mom a certain way, I'd be punching them or.
yeah.
Um, I always thought of, I've always thought I wanted to be my mom's hero for sure.
Oh,
But, but, and then you grow up wanting to be everybody's hero,
yeah,
wanting to be a protector and you want to, and then you end up damaging yourself because you don't understand the
yeah.
equilibrium of that. You can't be no one's hero. You're not God.
Right, right. I
You
can
have to
dig it.
figure that one out, because you'll always fall short when you want to be someone's hero,
Yeah.
you
Well,
know?
it takes time and experience as you grow,
Yep.
so,
Yeah.
but
So,
you figure it out.
yeah, had to pretty quick too. Had to pretty quick too, for sure.
Wow. Well, thank you
Yep.
for sharing those personal stories like that, you
Oh,
know.
no problem. Yeah, there's plenty
Yeah.
more.
Well, it gives people insight into what
He's
makes you
breaking the
tick.
ice, man.
Yeah. Yeah.
So,
Yeah, I mean, it's I tell everybody I wouldn't change growing up in LA for nothing. It's just it's just so different. So different. And then, you know, now it's so weird because, I grew up I grew up in an environment that was like all I knew, right? Like we'll
mhm.
go like my first best friends were black, right? And we would all use the N word with each other all the time. Like I as a kid I remember I didn't even know they were black or I didn't even know I was Mexican. I didn't think we were any different. I just knew they were my best friends. And then as you start to get older and then you start maturing and you start listening and you understand the history of it, it's just like,
Right.
yeah, that's, you know, and it just became different. You realize real quick that you could be a very insulting person or you hurt someone, with words.
Yeah. Words can
So,
really hurt a person, that's for sure.
yeah, yeah. So, but like I said, growing up in LA is all you really know, that environment.
Yeah.
And would I ever change it? Nah, I wouldn't change it for the world.
Right.
Good. It is what it is, and it's in the past. And like I said, and I don't see it as a negative or a positive. I just see it like you said. It's just what it's just the cards that life dealt us.
Right.
Yeah.
So I have a question for you and Lewis.
Hmm.
So growing up in LA, what exactly is the car scene like? Is it like the movies or is it over exaggerated?
Nah, for me, I mean, it's not over exaggerated. It's Well, it's not like, people sitting on the leaning on their car like waiting for somebody to come, and it's not Hollywood like that, but
Yeah.
Oh, it's crazy. LA is crazy for sure. Even now with the sideshows and you know people stopping traffic on every direction to do like burnouts and stuff like that,
Yeah.
um, and then you have like the guys that are more into like true racing, like street racing. You know, you'll have those guys. You'll have the young guys that just want to burn out. You'll
Right.
have you'll have like the car clubs and stuff like that. It's
Right.
fun. It's fun, but you got to be careful for sure. It's
Of
not like
course.
it was before. Before everybody could just go out and have fun. Now you got to be careful because in LA everybody's pretty much packing. You know, everybody has
Everybody's
11
got
year
that
old.
heat.
Yeah,
So,
11-year-old, 12-year-olds. Everybody got a heat on them now. So
mm.
you really just don't know who you can come across. Yeah. So, but
I know.
it's
I
it's
know.
pretty
Back
crazy.
back when I was growing up, you know, when I pictured the LA car scene, you know, my whole vision was, you know, cholos and vatos on their lowriders and this and that, and lowrider bikes and stuff
You
like
got
that. You know.
you
So.
got to go to Whittier for
Oh
that.
yeah.
Yeah, they
So.
do have a lot of low riders and they have a specific place where they all cruise. They go
Okay.
to the boulevard. Yeah, they'll have like all the low riders up there. Yeah, the thing about LA, like you'll have racers, you'll have the Hellcat guys, you'll have the Foxbody guys, you'll have the Corvette guys, you'll have the truck guys.
So they're all kind
Um,
of grouped off together then.
yeah, everybody's in their own group. Yeah, and then sometimes you'll meet in the middle. You'll have the VQ guys, the Infinity guys, just the sideshow guys. Um,
Yeah.
yeah, it's just so much of everything, you know. Any given weekend, you could just come across like different groups, you know,
Yeah.
and then you got the bikers.
Like the Hell's Angels and whatnot. Is
You
that what you're
yeah,
referring
you
to?
got all kinds
Yeah.
of bikers, and then you got the street bikers. Um, yeah, it's just so much going on in LA. You got to come out, OG. I got to take you out for a whole weekend.
Yeah, that'd be great, man. I'd
get
love
get you
to.
get you in some trouble. We'll probably get arrested or something like that. You know.
And my wife will kill the both of us. So
Yeah, for get a mug shot. What were you doing? Oh, he was doing donuts in the middle of the street.
in Lewis's Fox body.
Yeah, yeah. OG's gonna go back like, man, this is the most fun I ever had in my life. No.
Exactly. I got a free mug shot out of it too.
Yeah, no, it's just it's kind of like a movie. Yeah, you can turn it into a movie for sure.
Yeah.
For sure. Yeah. I don't
That's
know
cool.
how it is for Lewis, but you know.
You know, I think everything you said is pretty much spot on, man. But at least for me, like the experience that I have of it is pretty old, man. I haven't been out in like it's been years, man. Like I kind of like lost interest in like doing meetups and stuff like that because it started becoming a little dangerous. How you say, you know, like people like take guns and stuff
Oh
like
yeah,
that.
for sure.
So at that point, you know, yeah, before like people would have like, you know, their egos out there, you know, they'll get hurt and, you know, there'll be fights and stuff. But like, you know, once you see like people like getting shot and stuff, like you kind of want to go, you know. So I'm talking about like maybe five, you know, like the last time I went, maybe no, I think it's longer than maybe 6, 7 years ago.
Yeah.
You know, that's what I remember. You know, basically spot on what you said. Like I don't have any recent experience of it.
Yeah. Well, you know, I think the most recent experiences I still got friends that like street race, you know, big car racing. Um, I'll come out. You know, if I'm in LA and there's a race going on, I'll probably come out, you know, just try to get some cool video stuff.
Yeah.
But as far as like the side shows and stuff like that, I don't do those. If there's a car show, I'll come out to a car show. But as far as like just doing some wild stuff, nah.
Yeah.
Like you said, Lewis, I don't have interest in that. Plus, that's more of the younger generation, you know. A
Yeah.
lot of the
Exactly.
younger 18, 19, 20-year-old guys, you know, doing all that stuff. Yeah, I don't have no interest in that.
And at least for me, like when I would go, like, you know, I would mostly be a spectator. You know, I would go and see other people race. You know,
Yeah. Yeah, yeah, for sure.
so shortly after that, I found out about, like Irwindale, like you said, and like the other tracks around here. So, then you get to go and sit down and just watch people, basically do the same thing, and it's
Yeah.
legal. You don't have to worry about like the cops showing up and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So then I kind of started doing that.
Man.
But now that those places are mostly closed now, it's
Yeah.
basically all, yeah.
Yeah, I remember the first time I got caught racing. I couldn't believe it.
Mm.
I was racing a Corvette, and when I got to the end of the street, I saw the cop, and I'm like, "Oh no!"
Like they'll close off the streets, like both sides,
Yeah.
and
Oh
you're
yeah,
done basically.
I
they
got
call them
caught
they
at.
call them street takeovers here.
Well, yeah, they got the street takeovers out here too. That's what I was saying with the sideshows. I'm not into those.
No, but
Yeah,
the police, like the police will show up and they'll
Yeah.
close both sides of the street. So if you're there, even if you're a spectator, like you'll get a ticket.
Oh yeah, yeah.
So,
They'll impound your car if
but if they
there or
caught you
whatever.
racing, you were saying right now that you actually got caught racing. So
Yeah, I got caught racing a long time ago. Yeah, for sure. I remember the cop pulled me over, and he's like, "Who won?" I'm like, "None of us. You just pulled me over."
yeah.
I'm like, "None of
I
us."
think I think Rick was telling us that in Kentucky. Oh my goodness, what is that? That in Kentucky, that if they catch you racing, that they impound your car and crush it or something like that.
Well,
Is
they
that
used to do that here in California too, I think.
yeah,
Yeah. Well, did you guys see recently? Some guys were, I don't know, they did a meetup in the L.A. River, and they impounded like 70 cars. They
70?
they arrested like, I don't know, over 100 people. Yeah.
I saw that on the news. They basically found a way to get into the actual river itself, right? Like the
Mm-hmm. Yep.
the part of it that's paved.
Yep.
And it didn't look like they were racing. It looked like they were just like,
Meeting up.
cruising.
Yeah.
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 So then like the police showed up and yeah, man,
They
all those
closed
cars.
off both exits, and they just one car at a time, tow truck at a time, just
Yeah,
impounded.
Dang.
Yeah.
Those tow companies made some money that day, didn't they?
Oh,
absolutely.
absolutely, for sure. Yeah. Hey, tow companies in LA, they're ridiculous.
No
They
doubt.
are a scam.
hmm
Those tow companies, man, they are foul people. Let me tell you,
That's too bad.
man. You could have parked your car maybe 1 inch more to the red, and they'll impound your car. Like
Yeah.
they'll just find any way to get money.
Really?
Yeah, they're all the companies out there. They're bad people. I'm gonna say.
And even like the police around here, they kind of work like in concert with them. You get me? So if like say you break down on the freeway and you got your own tow truck coming, they'll call someone, and if they get there first, they'll have them
Tell
pull you
you,
out of the freeway. But like
and you owe
say
'em- and then you owe them $300.
yeah, no, yeah, it's a little bit more than that. It's almost like $500 now. So
They're crazy, man.
yeah,
That's
Yeah, guys.
insane.
So, yeah,
That's a total ripoff.
it's
for sure.
predatory. Yeah,
Dang, man. Wow, that's insane.
Yep, 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 yep.
Well, Oscar, I really appreciate you, brother.
Well, thank you
Appreciate,
guys. I really
you stopping
appreciate you
in.
guys. Yeah, no, it was fun. I had a good time getting to know you guys and talking with you guys, and giving you guys a few of my stories. And yeah, it's been a pleasure. OG, keep doing what you're doing, man. You're a big inspiration to a lot of us, and
yep.
like I
Really?
mentioned,
Thank you.
yeah, like I mentioned, I would have never guessed your age, right? You don't have to repeat it, but I just thought you were like, man, a year or two older than me, maybe,
I've told them several times actually.
Yeah, so I'm like, I still can't believe it, brother. So
Oh, I
just
appreciate that a
keep
lot.
inspiring, and I keep sharing your stuff because I think you're a good person, and I think more people you should have like 100,000 subs already and
Yeah.
followers and all. You're you have a lot of knowledge, and you guys are awesome. So keep
I
doing what you're
appreciate
doing,
that.
man.
Well, I really appreciate you, Oscar. You're an excellent person, and you contribute to this community wholeheartedly. You know what I mean? And you've made a big impact already, and so
I appreciate that.
Keep doing what you're doing, brother.
Thank you guys. I appreciate that. It means a lot for sure. For sure.
Yeah. Well, give your family a hug for us, brother.
I will for sure, guys. Thank you again, and I look forward to doing this again in the near future.
Oh yeah. Oh, for sure. You're always welcome back, Oscar. So
you got it, guys. Hope you guys enjoy the rest of your weekend, and to everybody who watched, thank you so much for taking the time to come hang out with us and learning a little bit about me. And I really appreciate everybody's time. I know time is the most expensive commodity we have, so I'm truly grateful for everyone who tuned in.
Yeah, and so this is Third Pedal Foxbody, and check out his YouTube channel. He's on IG as well. Give him a like, subscribe, thumbs up, show him some love because he's a genuine guy, as you just saw. So
thank you, guys. I appreciate the shout out. Thank you.
Of course. All right, everybody out there. Let's see what this is. Thank you. You guys have a good night, and you guys take care. Hope everybody has a wonderful rest of your weekend, and we'll see you next live stream. Later.
Later, guys.